Last night, and you need to check.
We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, it is he, it is me, P-double-D, E-Temple Queen, the place to be reviews, right here with all of yous, even the Orthodox Jews. Shalom, my peeps. I am the Fandom Menace, people's champion, unbeaten, untied, unfadable. Can't fade me because I'm bald, baby. That's right. Mr. Clean, Kojak in the house with a big, robust panel on Wednesday, Raw Wednesday. We're joined by some first-timers tonight, some returning guests. To my right, It's a Vase Productions.
What's going on?
Oh, welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
Glad to be here.
Oh,
that was
man,
a great intro. Did you know that I made that Fandom Menace?
Yes. He made that. And that man over on the right of It's a Vase is none other than Fat Steven Seagal. Beat up Netflix.
I like chicken nuggets.
Well, chicken nuggies are delicious. I mean, fuck.
Especially hovering ones, like the one near my head. Just sits there.
I was wondering what that was.
Well, if it's a hemorrhoid, it's awfully breaded for a hemorrhoid.
For you, it's not a carrot on a stick. It's a chicken nugget.
Is it because you have your own gravitational pull that the chicken nuggies hover around, they orbit you?
Pretty much that, and the gravitational. I can't even talk right now. Yes, I have a big ass. I'm going to leave it at that. Yes, it pulls things in. Don't shake your head at me, Dave. I can see you.
That's great.
I'm being scolded by Hawaiian and Captain Gateway. I'm sorry. I love them all.
You have done that yourself.
Joining us on the bottom for the making his second day. Words are fucking hard. All right, 2 edibles in. I haven't even poured the wine yet. All
Today
right.
is the show with no syllables, just a whole bunch of smiling and nodding.
Hey, Angelus Draven. Welcome, man. Welcome.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thanks for
Hold
having
it
me.
down there in the bottom. I'll punch you.
And down
Stop fisting me.
on the
You like
bottom
it.
left, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Tone Deaf.
I want to hear more about this fisting. Hold on.
Is it spade? Just no.
The Spade's talking about fisting.
That's a triforce of fake breasts. That's right there. That's all I see.
Somebody's
Does
gonna
this go in the middle there?
Let me tell you something. They're the good breast implants, the soft ones, not those rocks you get in
There's
Mexico.
nothing good
okay?
about breast implants unless they protect you from a bullet, and that was a true story.
got some Kevlar. She's got some Kevlar.
No, there was an actual true story. Some chick actually got shot, and her breast implant actually stopped the bullet. It's an actual news story.
Holy shit.
It's either that or I got to stop dreaming. But thank you for having me. I'm sorry.
No, it's all.
That sounds like the plot to a good porn flick, you know.
Well,
that
it's a better
hasn't
plot
been
than
done.
Last Jedi.
Yes. Well, I mean, to be fair,
Not hard.
isn't I mean, I've seen porn with better plots than Last Jedi, but
I'm just saying, Fat Steven Seagal, breast implants, and a bullet. Who can't wink to that?
I usually do my porn in Braille so I can feel along.
this, you know why?
Because that's what heroes do.
You got to have your porn in Braille. That's what heroes do, baby.
Yeah.
That's what heroes do.
Okay, Daredevil.
I was just watching Daredevil last night, and I was a little fried out, and I passed out during episode. It was like the middle of episode 12 of the first
How do you
season.
know what episode it was? You passed out.
That's the one I was watching last when I fucking passed out, was episode 12.
Hence the dream that's upcoming.
There's so
in the
many
story.
shows that I started watching and I passed out and forgot what episode I was on,
See-
and I'm like, I don't know where to start, so then I just never finished the show.
Have you ever fallen asleep during a show and woken up with a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses and it's still dark out?
I can't say that.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely,
you
for
gotta-
sure.
Yeah, but
100%.
Oh, let me
I
go.
am
What
so canceled.
Hashtag cancel Fat Steven Seagal. That's it.
Never.
Hail flipped out. Hail rookie critic. Warlord Titan Tiberius. Keely Chow. Yes. Mazel Tov L'chaim. I'm a classy broad. I'm going for the Woodbridge tonight.
Did you share this on Twitter?
I did not even tweet it yet. I was running so late. I got to tweet this out.
I was about to say I was looking for it because I wanted to share the hilarity. I was dying, honestly, for the first however long we've been live.
let me
I didn't mute myself because I was just laughing the whole time.
I'm telling
I gotta
you.
get this out there.
So yeah, tonight is like just kind of it's Wednesday going in Raw Wednesday. We're fucking it's an easy breezy kind of fucking show tonight. As Tony knows, he's been here before. We're gonna talk a little bit of pop culture tonight. We're gonna talk about the Mandalorian trailer, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this while I tweet this out. What is the consensus? I mean, for me right now, I'm looking at it like it's like a fucking actress coming out of a fucking casting couch. It could go either way. I mean, it could go horribly wrong, or this could be really good. It's God. I'm kind of nervous that they're going to try to shoehorn too much shit into it.
I'm thinking they get too excited and shit the bed on season 2.
The best way to look at anything now to deal with Disney and, oh God, I hate saying Star Wars with the same sentence, is to never go in with any expectations. Scenes can fool you. The music in a trailer can fool you. You go in with no expectations, you can never be disappointed. You can only go up or even farther down.
Yeah, the scene might not even be in the production.
I just hope someone plays golf with Baby Yoda's ball and an at-at. That's all I'm hoping for. There's one nice little soccer punt down the field. Now you see Baby Yoda just shut the helmet.
Part of me hopes they wrap up the Baby Yoda thing like halfway through this season, and then we just get Mandalorian and him kicking ass. And that's really what I want.
Well, that was I started this new series for this channel called Geek News Now, and it's called Trailer Triumph or Trailer Tragedy. And I just look at trailers. The first one I did was Dune. The Mando dropping was the second one. I was supposed to do the Batman. But so I watched that trailer, and when I'm looking at these trailers, I'm trying to think of it from a perspective of maybe someone who doesn't even know what's going on. Because if we're being totally honest, The Mandalorian has built-in fan. Like, people are excited for the next season of this no matter what. And that's why when I talked about this trailer, what I said was, like, my biggest fear going into hearing that this trailer came out and, like, going into it, my biggest fear was that they'd give too much away in the trailer. That's one of the biggest tragedies a trailer can do, is give away too much of the story. I think what they did with this trailer is really, they built up, it was literally, the voiceover was from the last episode of the last episode from the last season. So it just says, hey, remember this plot point? That's what this season is kind of going to be going forward. And all the images show us him going to new planets, taking some first steps. We don't really get more than that. So it's just confirming. You remember how you liked The Mandalorian season 1?
Yeah.
Here we are again, and we're doing the same type of thing.
At the same time, you've also read up on the stories that Pedro is throwing a tantrum on set, correct?
Yeah,
and possibly he's putting stuff in jeopardy. And the last thing I want is, good, they did it all right. And then Pedro's gone, and we're stuck with the Boba Fett show.
Yeah. That's
I hadn't heard any of that, honestly.
Which is what the show was originally going to be anyway.
And it should have been the mask. And then he has to wear it all the time, and now he wants more money because the show's getting popular. This is all the stuff I've watched and heard over the last day or so. So it's like, here's your trailer, and now here's the whiny bitch.
He's so replaceable, honestly. Like, even though the show's called The Mandalorian, like, anybody can get under a mask and talk with a modulator or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
this is the way.
This is the way.
I'm a female. That's not even my real voice. That's not even a real chicken nugget.
But seriously though, like, Pedro, and he's not even in the suit half the time. He's got a stunt double or two.
Well, also, I think part of the, like, rage about The Mandalorian, like how, like, oh man, this show is the best. It's like, first of all, it's coming from Star Wars fans who are used to the sequel trilogy in their most recent memories. And like that I know not necessarily everyone, but like that's the most recent other Star Wars stuff we've gotten. So when you have that compared with like the Mandalorian, where we're set closer to the original trilogy, where we're talking about Mandalorians and connecting to characters that people care about from like Clone Wars and Rebels, and doing it in a way that like respects those characters for the most part. And I gotta say, one of the biggest things that the Mandalorian did right was distancing itself from the sequel trilogy. They didn't do it completely. There was the Force healing from Yoda bullshit that tried to legitimize what happened in The Rise of Skywalker. And I was like, when I watched that episode and I watched that stuff happening, I was like, this the only reason that this arc is in The Mandalorian is to try and legitimize the bullshit they're going to try and pull in The Rise of Skywalker. I saw that, I accepted it, and I said, if you can keep moving on and doing other stuff, that's what I'm going to be enjoying.
But maybe it wasn't Force healing. Maybe it was just Force CPR.
do you remember when they dropped that episode though? I believe that episode dropped like the day the week the Rise of Skywalker. Before. Yeah, it was. And
then the last episodes came out after. It was totally planned. It was bullshit.
Yeah. They knew exactly what they were doing when they timed that plot out in that episode with that there, because they're like, look, Rey can do it too. It's there. It's established. If we put it in Mandalorian first, nobody's going to complain about it. It's like, bitch, please. Like within the first 5 minutes of that goddamn movie start. Now, mind you, I went to see this with my sister, who's like 36, my mama, who was like literally dying of fucking everything. We went to the theater to see it. Like I'm driving, right? I'm eating fucking edibles on the way to the theater. Me and my sister smoke up a blunt before we left. We're sitting in the theater, sitting in the fucking theater, and I'm eating edibles. And this, because I knew this movie is going to be shit. And like within the first 5 minutes, I lean out and audibly look down at my sister who's sitting on the other side of my mom. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is just, I mean, the theater's packed and I'm just like, And we're sitting in like the very back too. I had people turn around. I'm like, man, don't even start. You're dressed like goddamn Ray. And you're like 45 years old, motherfucker. What are you doing? I slapped the shit out of you.
Yeah, I was pissed watching it the whole time.
It's worse when you go to the theater. You're dressed like Ben Kenobi. The guy beside you is dressed like Uncle Ben.
Please tell me Aunt Jemima was on the other side of you.
If he is, I really need to start doing mushrooms because I got a hell of a problem.
I was pissed watching the whole movie, and
which one?
The Last of Us, or not the Last of Us.
Well, you're jumping, John.
I am jumping in. It's all shit.
Abby came in and smashed that Death Star. She smashed it.
But the Rise of Skywalker,
Never seen it.
I was pissed the whole time because as you're watching it, like every plot point that was leaked is literally happening on screen, and you're like, "What the hell?" And there was people like cheering this shit on, and I'm just like, it was making me even more angry as I'm watching it.
Did your whole theater smell like soy latte? Because that probably was the reason why everyone was cheering.
And then, like, when Chewie dies or whatever, or they think he dies, he's like, this girl, like, behind me, like, is, like, sobbing, and he's like, no! And then, like, it's just, like, he's not dead. Like,
that was the worst.
Like, 2 scenes later, you realize he's not dead, which is, like, ridiculous.
You remember the crawl, though, right? It's not even that. Like, when I heard people's first reviews, and I still haven't seen the full movie, because as soon as I heard about Emperor Palpatine in the crawl tweeting the universe, like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yep.
I'm out. I'm never going to watch this.
And that was a Fortnite thing.
Yeah, and there was a Fortnite thing.
That was referencing
I was in that
Fortnite event.
I was in
Seriously?
that Fortnite event.
Yes!
I played for fun because I like the fact they've actually made Marvel canon now in Fortnite, too.
Yeah.
The Fortnite universe
Some of that stuff is cool.
now canon in Marvel universe.
Holy shit.
Some of that stuff is cool. But, like,
I don't play
J.J. Abrams came into the game, and the only thing I could do is I want to punch him. So you see a whole bunch of people trying to smack J.J. with pickaxes the whole game, the whole event.
It's ridiculous. Well, I mean, like, and also stuff like this is fueled by the fact that the supposed, like, mastermind of all this, Kathleen Kennedy, just says whatever the fuck comes into her head whenever she's on a red carpet. You remember when she was on the Solo red carpet and someone said, "Are you going to make a Lando movie?" And she was like, "That sounds like a good idea. We could capitalize on Donald Glover." And she's like, "Yeah, we're looking into that." And that was just complete bullshit. Yeah. And then when she's on the Rise of Skywalker red carpet, they're like, "How long was Palpatine, in the works for this?" And she's like, "Oh, the entire time." And it's like, there's 3 interviews from J.J. Abrams from when you desperately called him back to try and finish the debacle that you've now got. So we know for a fact, because in that interview he says, coming back into this thing, there was no story, there was no set, there was no script. He said all of these things, and
Yeah.
Like it's not and she's just like, yeah, oh yeah, I'll just say whatever the fuck comes into my head.
But he did leave plot points for Ryan, though. That was the sad part. Before Ryan ruined
absolutely,
whatever the hell his name is, he had all the plot points out. Ryan ignored all of them and went his own separate way, shaving his giant massive head for a hot air balloon
intentionally.
Star Wars.
Yep.
He brags about it. He says in different interviews when he's talking about making The Last Jedi, he's like, we actually had people scouring YouTube for fan theories to make sure that we didn't do anything. And I just made a post about this, and I was just like, that's insane, because Star Wars has been out for 40 plus years. It was a cultural revolution. It inspired people to start getting into film or writing or this and that. So people know how the mechanics of it work. So when you're saying I'm debunking I'm just not going with any fan theories, some of those fan theories are coming from people that understand the hero's journey, understand Star Wars way better than he does. And he's just like, well, we can't use any of that because I want to surprise people. Well, surprise, your movie sucks.
The problem
Listen,
is
you bunch of man babies. Listen, you man babies.
They
just
don't have a
can't
lighter,
handle,
set his hair on fire.
You can't handle subversive writing. I am a genius. I'm the genius voice of a generation. I can't be a gay fish.
When did Ryan Johnson turn into Kanye West from South Park?
I know, right?
It's a crossover event we didn't know we needed.
I'm not a gay fish.
What up, Tony? I heard you say. I'm sorry, man.
I'm just saying, what's the point of scouring the internet for fan theories when you literally did nothing anyways?
Yeah.
Nothing was accomplished in The Last Jedi at all.
But it wasn't what you expected. So it's good, right?
It was definitely not what I expected.
That's like saying I had Taco Bell and it wasn't the diarrhea I expected. It's still shit.
You gotta train your stomach for Taco Bell.
Yep.
And when I made the Twitter post that I made, I said it's because I took a pic of Ron Swanson throwing out his computer, and I put the sequel trilogy over that. And I tried to focus mostly on The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, because even though The Force Awakens has its flaws, it was setting up stuff. And had they just continued on that path, I could forgive a lot of the mistakes the movies made. And there's a difference between forgiving the mistakes the movies made and forgiving the mistakes that the people who made them and shouted at fans and blamed them for stuff. That's completely different. That just obviously, like, you can't blame us for you making bad shit.
I have a question though. With the Force Awakens trailer, when you first saw that, did it give you that feeling in your chest when you're like, "Oh my God, Star Wars"? Like, you know what I mean? You got that excitement as a kid, and then as you watch the movie, you could see, "Oh my God, Finn might become a Jedi. Rey might turn out to be a Jedi too," and go. But like, they had a way of making it look like two sides from new people that became friends who then became enemies, and then, well, I call it New Hope Light because that's what Force Awakens was. New Hope Light, but it had so much potential, and then this giant head got in the way.
Ryan Johnson's big fat dumb head.
He eclipsed the sun.
You can see it. There was so much potential, not even from stuff that was set up, just from like obvious. What the fuck happened at the end of The Force Awakens? Finn gets his spine and back of his head slashed by a lightsaber. The next time we see him, days later in the next movie, he's just whoop-de-doop-de-doo, hoop-de-doop-de-doo. Like, give me some cybernetics. Make Finn now, because of this, partly a cyborg. That ties into other Star Wars lore. It's like, is he human or is he machine? Like, what's dominant?
Do have quite good healing capability.
They do.
So, and I don't think it was more of a spinal. Was it an actual spinal wound, or was it just that he got like grazing across the spinal column?
Like,
I didn't think
he was still wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah, he had Poe's jacket on. Hashtag Finn Poe.
Hashtag Poe power.
Make it a thing. Hey, Tony. Hey, what happened? Who broke into whose house? Was it?
No,
Jesus, get out of here, Poe.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac broke into. Yeah, Oscar Isaac broke into John Boyega's house. Caught him blowing him. Woke up, looked under the bed sheets, like, what the fuck, man?
You want my jacket? I'm almost done with your nutsack.
I sewed it up for you because that's all the damage the lightsaber did, was cutting your jacket. I don't know why we put you in a back to tank.
Oh God! Oh no!
Oh God!
Oh God!
Surprised that they become a Monster Energy drink. Try Luke's spoiled blue milk now with taurine.
Who wants some blue soy milk? There's nothing wrong with soy, you man babies.
Stop bitching about the pubic hair. It helps you floss every time you drink it.
Oh, that's great.
Fucking ruin. Oh god.
And Knives Out sucked. I'm gonna say that right now.
You know, I honestly, I watched it because I did it because I haven't done a video on it in a while, but I did a series called Is It Woke? And that was the last entry I did in that series was Knives Out, and it got such a shitty response I just didn't do anymore.
I can't watch it now because that Chris Evans dick pic is out there. It's like, okay, now I'm just looking for giant, somewhat mediocre orange sausage.
That's why Chris Evans is always so angry on Twitter. He's got a fucked up looking dick.
Does it hold its own shield?
What's that?
Does it hold its own shield?
Good lord.
He's got to guard that pee. I didn't I didn't mind Knives Out, honestly. Like, the only thing I really hated about it was Daniel Craig's accent, and I thought it was very meta when Chris Evans' fucking character like starts. He goes, "And what is the deal with this guy's accent?" All I could think of, like, he should have like done it more Seinfeld. Like, what is the deal with this guy's accent? Like,
that's why that movie works, as opposed to why that same shit didn't work in fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because one of them is meta, making fun of Clue, being a parody of it, and being in our real life now world. The other one is supposed to be an escape from that bullshit, and he just riddled it with bullshit. And here's the number one example of his shitty writing in Star Wars, and it's the thing that bugs me. I never hear anyone talk about it, but it's the thing that bugs me almost more than anything else. It's when Rey first is talking to Luke, and Luke is like,
spoilers,
Jedi training isn't all about lifting rocks. And that line by itself, that joke by itself is so fucking horrible, because the only people that know about Luke's training on Dagobah are Luke. And maybe when he's told, she didn't even believe in Jedi a second ago. What the fuck does she know about Jedi training?
It's the same thing with the first episode of Picard.
Here's why. I'm sorry, but I have to finish this, because it would be bad enough if that was where it ended, but it doesn't. Because at the end of the movie, from a joke that was told for only the audience's benefit, which ruins the movie, she goes, lifting rocks. That's something I can do. I'll stretch out my hand, and the Force just does whatever the fuck it wants whenever I stretch out a hand. Will I force pull? Will I shoot lightning? Will I heal? Who knows? What does the plot need? Fuck that shit. That was just fucking.
It was horrible.
Horrible, yeah.
It's the same thing what Kurtzman did too with the first episode of Picard, where the girl picks up in his house and picks up the book, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not one for sci-fi." I'm like, oh my god, you did not just say that in your own show. Your whole career is built on sci-fi.
Get it? Did you get it, audience?
Wasn't that I just shit on your childhood?
Hopefully, there's some more your mama jokes.
That's the stormtroopers missing the target in Mandalorian.
My god, that
you out of this. Like, that's our joke. Like,
you know what happened 2 minutes earlier?
But when you do that, it takes you out of the world.
Yep.
It literally does.
It does.
Yeah.
The ending of the episode before that, because that was the opening of the last episode, and the episode before that ended. Here's the thing. That joke, that's how it starts. They're like, look, they can't even hit the target. Get it, stormtroopers. Am I right? 2 minutes earlier. Dead Ugnaught.
This is what I was saying about.
And killed him. He's a smoldering corpse.
And he was on the run. He was on the run.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying about Infinity War a couple months ago, Pete, when they have that badass opening scene. All the Asgardians are dead, and you have Thanos, he's preaching, and then just right in the middle of it, for a quick joke when you're first watching the film, Thor looks up like, well, you talk too much. I mean, that took me out of this scene in the moment, but I mean, that kind of shit doesn't age well, as well. It would have been a great scene had it not been for the
they undermine everything with jokes.
Yeah, it fits slightly in Marvel, because like it's comic book. They're supposed to have like a quick and then like a punch. Like if you're thinking of a comic book, like
but there's characters that do the quips.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
and that's not a good.
Like if you had
but they
Deadpool
try to
come
take
into
that
part,
and apply it to Star Wars, and
it
just
doesn't work.
Flops horribly, because like they're not supposed to be aware of this. This is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Not get the current politics of today, and your mom.
Yep.
It just,
Luke is dusting his fucking.
in Marvel,
shoulder
it kind of works. This is our world of superheroes. In Star Wars, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Maybe the crawl finally caught up to the people in Mandalorian's universe, and they were just looking up at the exact moment, and there was Palpatine's tweet just saying, "Yeah, stormtroopers can't shoot."
Okay, so that's the thing that really like kills me is, all right, dude. So the clones were always looked at like these motherfuckers were like legit, like they were bad. Even just the regular clone troopers, they were badass. Yeah. All right, the stormtroopers are human. They're recruits. They're military trained, but it's like you have given them like nothing, like that scene in Rise of Skywalker where they're not even like hiding, they're just running down the hall and the fucking stormtroopers aren't even, and they're running away from them and they're just like getting shot in the back. It's like, and then you have the Sith troopers, the red stormtroopers. That was the biggest Sith. Those motherfuckers got killed by idiots on space horses. Okay, and leaving the atmosphere. All they had to do was tilt that fucking ship and drop these little space horses off. They don't have little magnets in their fucking
hooves.
Yeah, my hooves. I just think of what happening? Is it? Tom Green. My hooves.
When watching that movie, like even though you knew it was going to be a train wreck, even though like everything else, it just watching it is just like who and why and what. And Robot Head actually did a great thing because he had people coming at him because he's a critic of the new Star Wars films as any rational person is, and he people were like, you need to take a look at the behind the scenes stuff that they have from there. You need to take a look at the behind the scenes stuff, and he does, and he talks about it, and he's like, this is a bunch of bullshit. This is a bunch of idiots throwing ideas at a wall and seeing what sticks. And then, even despite doing that, how many reshoots did they have? How many different things did they have? How many to try and legitimize the bullshit? And what was the marketing? Hey, remember remember The Last Jedi when we killed Luke Skywalker and said, fuck you to the fans? Get ready for the end of the Skywalker saga. We're going to be
Ray fucking Palpatine.
Didn't they reshoot like a good portion of the movie?
They were reshooting the movie until like 2 or 3 weeks before it fucking released. They didn't
because they were tracking the clickbait articles and be like, what do people like? What don't they like?
Mike Zero basically wrote and directed that movie.
Why does that scare me so much?
Star Wars news from the future.
Do you see Star Wars Theory? Did you see Star Wars Theory video on when he finally accepted the fact
interview?
That one where he was like,
when he finally accepted the fact, it's like, oh wow, they were just talking shit and all that bullshit about like the people not liking this being bad people. No, it's just because we made bad movies and then we tried to politicize it to try and make sure that we could get a return on our investment. And that's all that this ever was, because Disney is the empire. If you get the fucking metaphor from the originals and understand Star Wars, that's what Disney is. And
see, I would have actually had more patience to actually go see Rise of Skywalker even after I heard the call if they still kept Matt Smith in it, because with the way they said, "Hey, Matt Smith," and I'm a Doctor Who fan. I was a Doctor Who fan, kind of am now, except for the Jodie, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, she's terrible.
She Barbie doll with no brain.
The new lady doctor who we will lovingly refer to as Dr. Karen.
Oh god.
Is Gary from Nerdrotics.
Like I was excited to see Matt Smith because Matt Smith could pull off an evil character perfectly because he has the attitude from the Doctor still in him. So that would have been a major route to go. But then we find out he's not going in, and I'm like, I have no interest to do this. It's, you know what I mean? No, like did you force yourselves to sit in the theater and watch the full film? Did you honestly feel like you
watched it because I was going to do a review on it, and then I never did.
If you didn't have to do a review, though, would you have watched it?
I wouldn't have paid for it. I didn't pay for it. We're not
talking about illegal break-ins at night to the theater.
No. The only
I was saying someone else bought the ticket.
I was reviewing.
I didn't support that, but
I was going to review it for my channel anyway. And literally, the only reason that I went was because my mom took me to see Return of the Jedi in 1983, and like I said, her health is like terrible. So it was the last Star Wars movie that will probably ever be released in her lifetime. So it was kind of like I said, me, her, and my sister went. Now I told her the whole time, I was like, I'm going to complain because this movie's going to suck, Mom. I'm like, this is gonna be shit, because she knows my thoughts about The Last Jedi. Like I said, I did not go see Force Awakens in the theater. I saw Rogue One in the theater, and one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, do you want to go see Last Jedi?" I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, he's like, oh, come on, I'll buy us. All right, so he bought tickets. We're sitting there, and like I said, movie starts. I'm like, kill you. Fucking kill you. You're fucking dead. We walk out to the truck. If you slip and fall, motherfucker, I ain't helping you. I hope you bust your head open.
I still have the Stormtrooper 3D glasses from when Force Awakens released because I still kept them as a good memory because I enjoyed another Star Wars movie in the theater. But the last one I've seen in theater was probably Empire Strikes Back a month or so ago when they did the re-releases. And you know what?
Yeah.
That brandished my soul back to happiness. And then they started saying, hey, go get Disney Plus, and you can watch the sequel trilogy, and it comes with a free enema. And I'm just like, I just have the enema. You can keep the trilogy.
I want to be clean.
I hope they vault it like they did their classic movies.
Our theater here did that. It's a family-owned theater. They did that. They released what was it? They played Goonies, which that was seeing. I didn't see that in the theater as a kid. I did. I've seen it, a million times. I own it on Blu-ray, but getting to see it in the theater, I sat there. I went and got baked. I sat there, got my fucking Sour Patch Kids and my big ass tub of popcorn with my fat ass, and sat there and fucking just like, dude, it was fucking great. It was beautiful. Nice. Like, and then I saw, was it Temple of Doom, and which was they played the next week, and then the following week they played the original Jurassic Park, which I saw in that very theater. Like I said, I was like 13 when it came out, so I got to take my fucking son, who's like 5, to go see it. And because he's seen every one of those. The new Jurassic Park movies, Jurassic World was it was a nostalgia grab, but it was still Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I was ready to smash my fucking TV with my. I was gonna pick Lucille up and smash my TV with her. I was not happy. The Dominion one is gonna be like. It's going to be basically the Rise of Skywalker of Jurassic World.
There's another one still coming.
Yeah. I've been covering it for my channel. Yeah, Jurassic World 3 Dominion.
I have a question.
It's like going to be like Lost World.
Sorry, if I have a question. If you had a choice to see in theater, would you see Rise of Skywalker or the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie?
Oh, Street Fighter.
Van Damme Street Fighter movie, 100%.
Street Fighter.
Oh my God, that is so. Because literally, that movie was the Rise of Skywalker of its generation, and now
it's terrible.
It's been champed over.
But I'd rather watch that than watch them destroy what I and other people have loved for generations, and then claim that was all part of the plan. And then after the last movie comes out, be like, what? Well, we didn't actually have a plan, and we were just trying to get your fucking money. And it's so obvious. It's so obvious at this point when you have these fanatical sycophants who are defending the Disney Star Wars trilogy. They never have anything good to say about it. All they ever have to say is that you're a piece of shit for not liking it. And I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it.
I'm like, well, I guess I'm a piece of shit then.
I don't think you're a piece of shit. I think you're a wonderful smelling rose potpourri.
I've had people I've been friends with since high school like block me and like just basically
I thought you were more open-minded, but it turns out you didn't like The Last Jedi. So by that metric, I can now judge you as an entire human being.
When years I sat back and listened to their bullshit, and then when I start speaking my mind, it's like, heaven forbid.
I'm trying to understand though, if you didn't like The Last Jedi, all of a sudden you were called an ist, an ober, a phobe. But I don't understand is like, what made you those from a movie you just didn't like when there was none of that in the movie?
No other movie has got to use that defense. No other franchise. No other thing. Like even like Roots.
I don't know. Funko Pops.
You said I don't like the movie Roots. No one said you're a piece of shit. But if they did, maybe you could understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But with The Last Jedi. Hey, I don't like this because I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan my entire life. While I understand the problems with the prequels, I also can, admit, look, there's bad parts and there's good parts, but the overall story is solid. When we're talking about the saga thing, and that's why when they had the nerve, because it's a saga, and that's why the repeating thing that George Lucas talks about, and some people make fun of him from the repeating poetry thing, that is solid. If you look at the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and especially at the middle films, what happens? Our hero character, whether we know he's doomed for failure or not, gets his hand cut off and learns that now you're going to do you're going to say that The Last Jedi is better than those two movies when you switch the metric, because Rey is the mentor here and Luke is the one who needs her to come and bring him out of this slump. He refuses the hero's call, which is part of the hero's journey, very part of the beginning one. And also, it's stuff that he's been through before. None of it makes sense story-wise. It doesn't make any sense with the rest of everything that happens. And that's just talking about Luke and Rey and their relationship. We're not even talking about hyperspace, ramming, or legs flying, or any other bullshit. The movie's full of bullshit.
How about 6 hours of a black protagonist yelling nothing but Rey? And then
Visually, it looks great, but that's about it.
In the first movie, we had to defend the fact, because I remember when The Force Awakens was coming out, and there were some articles that were like, he can't be black because he's a Star Wars. And I, as a Star Wars fan, was like, hey, the Imperial Academy exists, and clones aren't the way they are, and anyone can be it. And
yeah,
so,
they're
like,
not. They weren't clones anymore, man. They were just fucking regular people.
And then in the next movie,
ran out of clones.
has to have fucking Rose explain to him, a former brainwashed child slave, why child slavery is bad. If you take out they're
would have better if he was wearing like a tube top and like a cutie's dress, you know. Just
if you take out their like his and Rose's entire story from The Last Jedi, the story is exactly the same.
Yep.
It's a waste of fucking time.
If they just went
the
into
most
the
interesting character.
Mind fuck you, Ryan Johnson's genius.
If they just went into the EU, accepted the notes George left for them, if they just branched out and did something different and took a chance rather than try to go with the same formula that Lucas did, they would have made something amazing. They had so much, but they used so little. And what did it cost them? It divided the fans. It divided the fandom. It destroyed people's love. It destroyed people's childhood. Sorry about that. Holy crap. It destroyed memories that people had with their, like you said, when you spend movies with your family. It destroyed all of that, and it's a scar that hits you on an emotional and physical level that sometimes you cannot get over. Because you can go to the OG trilogy to give you those memories, but then you remember the other movies. It's like, I don't have anything good to remember for this part of my life. And it sounds creepy and it sounds sad to some, but it's not. It's how people that used to get teased about liking grew up using it to make themselves better.
And it was absolutely people. I've already seen people saying, like, will the sequel trilogy age as well as the prequel trilogy? And I can guarantee you 100% it will not.
No.
The only reason it got as far as it did was because of propaganda and bullshit. And then turning on the fans that had a problem with it. Do you remember the prequels? Remember the prequel backlash? Do you remember when George Lucas said, if you don't like this movie, it's because you're a piece of shit?
Yeah, I love George.
No, I don't remember that last part. Didn't happen.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Listen to fans, and from episode 1 to episode 2 to episode 3, he kept learning and improving as a director, which one of the reasons Empire Strikes Back is one of everyone's favorite movies is because he wasn't the director. He's a great story writer. He's not that great of a director.
I like Return of the Jedi.
I like the Ewoks movies.
I have the Ewoks movies.
Say that, like,
I have the Ewok board game. Still
There's a board game?
He listened to the fans' response, and then he ended up, out of his learning experience from saying, I'm going to do this all myself. I'm going to tell the story I want to tell. He listened to what people saw from his movie, and he said, Jar Jar too much. Let's reel him back, but also still develop his character. But all the overall story, solid. And Revenge of the Sith, one of the best Star Wars movies that exists.
Yes.
Have any of you guys ever watched Droids? Remember the old cartoon?
I vaguely remember that.
You guys should literally, when you have a chance, rewatch that, and it will actually start making you love the story. Because all the original voices for I can't say R2 because it beeps, but C-3PO was original voice from the movies. The same John Williams, I think, did the same music for it. I can't remember, but it's not John Williams, whatever his name is. I can't remember, but it's a good series to get lost in because it's stupid Star Wars, but it's still better than what's out now, Star Wars.
Wow!
I don't know what that means.
That was a droid. That was my R2D2 screen.
I thought you were like giving thanks to Yoda.
That's really good.
It is. See, wow. I don't even think Seth MacFarlane could do a Blue Milk parody of The Rise of Skywalker to make it somewhat enjoyable. I don't even think Mel Brooks, if he even had the energy today, could make a Spaceballs 2 based off that crap.
That's a
it is a 3-movie movie trilogy that cannot be saved with any type of parody because it's no longer funny. It's just a horror.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is to fans of the IP. It is. It's an absolute shit show to sit through that. Like, okay, so like I said, I didn't watch Force Awakens in the theater. I watched it after it came out. I rented it on Blu-ray, whatever. And I was like, basically, I had the same thought everybody else did. I was like, oh, okay, so they want to redo it. They want to redo A New Hope. That was literally my first. Like, okay, so they got a woman doing it now. I'm like, okay. I'm like, this is
tying in elements from the originals. That's what kept. I was like,
I was fine with
they killed someone.
I was fine with the thing A New Hope because like they were trying to get new fan bases.
Yeah, but when they killed,
it was like a refresher for like new fans.
And we all knew Han Solo wanted to die, so seeing him die,
like, Star Wars, but it's not like, hey, we're getting the cast back together. Nope, you're dead.
Harrison Ford did he went on to do the Star Wars prequel Call of the Wild, where the whole time on the set he kept calling the guy in the fucking green mocap suit. I could just see him in there in the canoe. Come on, Chewie, we gotta get down this river. The fucking Ewoks are gonna eat us. Come on, Chewie. They're like, should we tell Mr. Ford that we're doing Call of the Wild? Nah, fuck it. He still thinks he's Han Solo, even though he hates Star Wars.
CGI
just let him go. Come on, Chewie. What the fuck is going on? Why isn't Chewie standing up?
Why are you so short this movie?
Yeah. When did Chewie lose? Did you shrink, Chewie? I know we're old, but damn.
Stay out of the river.
That's great.
But they were like in the Force
I want
Awakens,
my family back.
I was just thinking about it. If Harrison Ford met Kylo Ren, but decided to jump into a fridge at the last moment, do you think he would have been saved from the lightsaber? Crystal
It did survive a nuclear blast. So
yes, it could survive a lightsaber if he jumped in a pitch before Ben stabbed him.
Oh, what a mess. Honestly, the biggest thing that called out to me in The Force Awakens, because I was kind of deluded. I was just glad to see like Star Wars back on the big screen until The Last Jedi. So I was kind of, I had that, rose-colored glasses as opposed to these deal with it glasses. I had rose-colored glasses on.
Is Priest frozen?
Yeah.
I thought he has like a major headache.
I'll be back.
Switch your avatar and then switch back to the cam. That might fix it.
Oh, wait. I'm trying.
I thought he was trying to do a Jedi mind trick for like 20 minutes.
Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, my computer is it's being a douchebag right now. So yeah,
I feel your pain,
Jedi, bro.
My computer's like, did you talk about The Last Jedi for that long? Shut the fuck up.
Did you mention his giant head? It's gonna come after me.
Uh-oh.
What is that, a Remax sign?
I can't. I'm still frozen.
Oh, there you go.
No, you're not. Your arm just went down.
Yeah, there you go. You're good
for all
now.
the people trying to understand sign language, he's not saying shit.
Oh, no, I think you're frozen again.
Oh shit! This is I'm buying an external hard drive because I've got to move some things around here. So yeah, shit. I'll be back, guys.
All right.
To those watching the show, welcome to the Frozen on Spot. And Tony, I trust Spades just a little bit more now. Don't stab me. I think is Tony asleep?
I don't know.
Oh no, I'm right here.
Did we upset you with Star Wars talk too?
Oh no, man, I'm good. I haven't seen what is it, The Rise of Skywalker episode 9. Because and I've said this before, but I've kind of it's filed away in my Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull file, which is when I talk about Indiana Jones, I don't think about that movie at all. I've never seen it, never will. And it's not even like I'm raging or boycotting against it. It's just literally pure indifference.
That's what happened to me with X-Men Phoenix, the last movie. I was just like,
never seen it. Never seen
Still
it.
haven't seen it.
I lost interest in X-Men when I saw The Last Stand and they tried to do the Phoenix story, but so very badly.
And they failed again.
And then we saw them try and redo it. They're like, we are well aware that this one failed, and we're gonna redo it.
Let's do it beat for beat.
shittily. Yeah, exactly.
It should have been Magneto on the asteroid.
More like Captain Marvel, because that movie's sure to be awesome, and everyone will love that. Crazy woman, cosmic rays. People try to stop her and take advantage of her, but she,
Let's see. Captain Marvel's failed. Birds of Prey failed. Bloodshot was horrible.
But Birds of Prey wasn't even like woke or anything. Well, it had little.
It was a lecture,
but it was just a meh movie. It wasn't like bad or good. It was just meh.
It would have been better if the marketing wasn't about misogyny.
The marketing is always so
in your face,
and you see tons of these. That's why I love the Tom Hardy interview where like one of these people is like they're at like some sort of comic convention, and one of these people that's like, what about gender? What about blah 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 blah? They ask what it was about Venom, and he's like, hey, what's your character's like sexual preference? Like blah 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 blah, and he's like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? He said that
itself to a host because it's compatible. It has nothing to do with.
That was like with Tarantino.
Another body.
In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they shut that shit down real quick.
Yeah,
like Tarantino and a bunch of other celebrities when they answer those stupid ass questions that are basically baiting people.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
it's a question to start a clickbait article because clearly people have nothing better to do than say, all I'm trying to do is either enrage or enrapture this specific group of people which care about pronouns.
Yeah, interviews stop being about, oh, hey, why should we?
What's your movie about? Never mind.
Who
cares? Hey, what's your sexual preference? What's your character's sexual preference? What's your sexual preference? And what's your character's sexual preference? And also, what does that have to do with the film? And how does your film show the sexual preference? Hey,
101 Dalmatians. Who cares about the sexual preference? They're Dalmatians, you guys.
There's 101 of them. We need to know.
101 reasons why I should do this interview.
It's free to do whatever they want to fucking do. I don't give a shit.
Unless it's
I just don't expect everyone else to know and like care. Like I have long hair. The other day, someone said, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I turned around and they saw my beard and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Were you talking to me? I don't give a shit. Like I don't. What do you need?" And then I gave them the item because I'm tall. I could reach it, and I gave them the item.
Tell you, bearded lady.
Sure, why not? Marvel.
All right, Marvel.
There was only one bearded lady, and she got angry when I marveled at her. I'm tired of it.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, that makes sense. But no, I know what you're saying. It's just like everything is being destroyed, and 2020 sped it up with the way things are, and they've just turned everything into one giant protesting billboard. And it has nothing. They've lost the ability to write quality stories that is an escapism from the reality that people are trying to get away from. And then it comes to the point where people are freaking out internally and externally because there's nothing else to escape to. So we're reverting back to, say, 10 to 15 to 20 years into films in that genre, in that area, because it's somewhere safe that they can't screw up, because still they've already done the remake and it's screwed up, Ghostbusters 216, or they're trying to do it, like let's say a RoboCop prequel without RoboCop, because that makes so much fun.
I could see that being done.
But you also have the cautions of like, they tried to release Gone with the Wind edited so it wouldn't offend as many people. And it's like, it was a movie made 81 years ago about
different mindset.
War. You have to understand where we came from in order to move forward. If we change what we were, then we won't become in reality. You have to acknowledge your faults to advance, and you have to keep things like that. And there are plenty of racist bullshit, crazy ass movies that came out at the beginning of the cinematic revolution in America. Trust me, there fucking are. And the reason that the USSR partially got started was because they realized, hey, our citizens can't read, but we can show them images, and they'll, so like all of this now it's commonplace. Okay, so we're all like used to it, but people are like, whoa, this offends me. Well, guess what? You're not the only person in the fucking world, and your group of people isn't the only group of people in the fucking world. And the fact that you keep trying to criminalize everyone else What do you?
It's projection. They're projecting their own insecurities, their own identity, because they don't know who they are. So they're trying to find other people that they can relate to that's the same goddamn problem, and then yell at everyone else because it's their fault, because their participation trophy isn't as big as the people who actually contributed. And it's the same fucking circle.
Yep.
See, I think they could do a RoboCop prequel. And not having RoboCop in it, because they could do
it's not RoboCop.
Yeah, I know, I get that, but you could have Murphy and have him.
We already know Murphy died.
Yeah, I know, but I want to know how he was like as a beat cop. I think that would be interesting.
But then it wouldn't be in Detroit. It wouldn't have nothing to do with OCP.
I guess.
I'm being a little anal on that, but yeah, it's like.
But you know what I mean?
We can also show the rise to power from Clarence Boddicker and how he became a criminal. They could have done that rogue too.
Yeah.
And by the end of the show, he ends up in a house in the 70s with a whole bunch of people telling everyone to eat my ass or whatever.
I mean, the thing that's criminally wrong with most of them.
Whoa.
Man, listen, you honkies. I come back to this, I hear eating ass and shit. What is going on around here? You
I'm
can't be
telling
doing
you,
that, brother.
Can you do your rendition of Chocolate Rain for us, please, since you're here, Cleveland? Thank you.
When you come in here and the first thing you hear is ass, it's like, what the hell are we talking about here?
Well, the fact that you're not getting any.
Okay, would you like a little bit more salt to rub in that wound?
He stopped.
Just wondering.
Welcome to the show, Shellback. This is his first time here, ladies and gents, and he stepped right into Thunder. He stepped right into Thunderdome tonight.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Show us your feet.
I'm on the show.
And you know what? Vase. Hey, Vase. When you do this, nobody mistakes you for being a lady. Okay? I'm just saying.
I memed your ass with a Ninja Turtle. All right, now I remember. Now I remember what I did with your face. Now I know why it's hiding. Okay.
I like confused people.
Well, I had a lot of Alzheimer parties then.
Those are my favorite ones.
Who are you? I just met you. I don't remember.
You forgot to pay.
Well, it's not that I don't want to be on camera right now. I just, it's whatever.
You have such a pretty head.
If it'll make you feel better, I'll stay on camera.
I don't have any.
Just because Cleveland's looking at me creepy. It's really scaring me right now.
I'm looking. Hey, listen, Fat Steven Seagal. I'm looking at you, honky. I'm watching you over there, Cracker.
You remind me of that guy that stole my bike off the front of that NES video game. What was it? Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Hey, that was my bike, you racist.
Right? Okay, then why was I riding it?
I don't know, but it was mine.
It was not yours. Just because you pick it up and run away doesn't make it yours.
Cleveland, you son of a bitch. That was not your bike. Shut up, Peter. I got this shit.
You want to come out of my popsicles?
Cleveland, I don't think that was your bike in the eyes of the law.
Joe, I will tip your goddamn chair over if you say one more word.
You ain't gonna catch me. You ain't gonna catch me. I like just below me. All I can see is a Triforce on top of some testicles on top of an ass.
Well, if you put your head down like this, like how mine is right now,
Tony Spade,
it'll look like you have a bunch of. It'll be like your lower part of your body, and there's
seriously though. The best thing I think it was Fat Steven Seagal that said it in the chat that last week. What did you say? He was like, I don't trust a talking spade, and I was like, oh my god, I almost lost my shit. I was like,
I don't trust a spade that talks.
I don't trust a spade that talks. I'm like,
some kind of voodoo.
Hey, man, you better clarify that. Oh, his icon is a spade. I was gonna say, look, man, we don't stand for that bullshit around
here.
Have
another bike to steal?
Hey, I told you that was my goddamn bike.
Because you pick it up and run away doesn't make it your bike.
Man, I didn't run away. I was just going to get a frap. It was Frap Friday. It's a Friday when you get frapped.
If I'm being honest,
yeah,
I'm jealous of that magical icon he's got going down there. How did you come up with that?
Who, Tony's?
Yeah.
Tony, you come up with that. You
just said Triforce on a spade, or he was like,
I love
just to make Fat Steven feel better.
It took a lot of weed and fentanyl.
I'm trying to find fentanyl on my Uber Eats right now.
Now there's two of us. What do you think about that, huh?
This cat. Look, man. We got how many brothers we gonna fit on this cat for real?
One looks like Cleveland, the other one looks like Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head and his bucket of parts. Buckets of fun for everyone.
It's scary that you know the theme song to that.
My kid was just asking me about Mr. Potato Head the other day, so I was like, they had one at school. I'm like, look, man, here's Mr. Potato Head, and I showed him a fucking commercial from it. I was like, and the song is so catchy, it sticks. And plus, I kind of look like him, so I mean, it's.
You better not play Mr. Bucket for him, or it's all over.
I like the Potato Head kids. Yeah. Remember those?
No.
Look, the little potato head children. Hey, come here, you little potato head children.
I got some in the basement.
I do that.
I can't if I clip it in my basement, he'll steal it.
Hey, I'm not going to steal shit, man. I keep telling you.
He's going to steal my basement and tell me it's his.
How the hell am I going to steal a whole goddamn basement?
I don't know.
I know, right?
Steal the fridge. He might take all my popsicles, make an orange drink.
Popsicle?
Popsicle? I can't roll my R's like that no more. No teeth.
Now hold on. Wait a minute.
That man below me is turning different shades of red.
Somebody better call an ambulance.
Quick, someone give him mouth to mouth. Those testicles look like they can do it for you.
Ambulance.
Somebody called an ambulance. I'm gonna take this Bible. I'm gonna need this later.
That finger, I'll rotate.
Oh shit! So you guys were talking about
what the hell is going on here? Orderly.
For God's sakes.
Hey, look! Somebody
be
showed
careful,
up.
Careful! Hey, Cheech, be careful! He'll take your vape and smoke it.
Hey, look, man! Somebody showed up on a lowrider bicycle. It's all chromed out. I'm gonna steal that shit. That's mine.
It was yours.
That bicycle was mine. This one's not mine. I'm gonna steal this motherfucker right here.
I have a theory. You're that seagull from Little Nemo, dressed up as Cleveland. Every time you see something like mine.
Oh, come on,
Mine.
Don't steal my bike, man. I need to get back to East LA.
That was a fucking great movie, by the way. Born in East LA. I haven't seen that in so long. Let's see. Wait, I saw the Mandalorian season 2 trailer in my base. Sasha Banks, Gina Carano, quick moment. She's dude. I'm gonna say this right now, and I've been very, very critical of Sasha Banks in the wrestling ring because in the ring she's pretty well trash, but like she's hot as fuck. Like I don't know how she's gonna act in the show, but she's hot as fuck. I'm not gonna even get mad at her.
I was so hot.
That's hilarious.
I'm not gonna get mad at Sasha Banks' fine ass, but if she, I don't know, I think she's supposed to be playing a Jedi or some shit, which kind of makes me nervous.
Somebody says that she's supposed to be Sabine Wren.
Yeah, Sabine.
Hair in
Sabine Wren.
Yeah,
I think so. But she's not wearing a helmet though. That kind of defeats the whole Pedro.
And the reason that a lot of people think that she's a Jedi is because during the voiceover in the trailer, looking at her,
they're talking about it
wearing a hood, and it's like, well, the only person that could ever wear a hood
Ahsoka
is Jedi. So
they don't have hooded sweated.
It could be a complete misdirect.
Yeah,
it could be like a Night Sister. She could be part of some other Force group. She could be part of anything. She could be Sabine.
She could be Mary Poppins.
It's the fact. Look. Again, someone else said it earlier, and I fully believe it. I love trailers, but trailers fucking lie.
Absolutely.
You know what else likes trailers? Tornadoes.
The show is no longer Mandalorian. It's
Tornadoes
Mandalorian
love trailers.
My brother loves Trailer Park Boys, the show, and they seem
is that a Canadian joke? Why does everyone think that Canadians all know Trailer Park Boys?
Dude, season 1 through 7.
Anyone here is Canadian or not? I literally just brought up.
I am.
Boys.
I thought you were trying to sip for Canada. Snow Mexico.
Snow Mexico.
No, man.
You want some snow pesos? We can play some hockey, eh?
I used to. I'm not gonna lie. I used to love Canadian strip clubs, man. Yeah, the first time I ever went to Canada, I was like when I turned 19, because I live in Michigan, so we drove across to Blue Water, over to Sarnia, and I went to a little strip club called Riverport, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, why are they putting coins in their mouth? Why are they laying down on the step? What? Oh, I like. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a fun night. And back we're talking 1999, so the rate of exchange was very favorable for the U.S. dollar back then.
So you only liked our strip clubs because you could put more bills in their panties? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Yes, dude. The strip clubs and the fucking bars with the fucking shit. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
So
I'm like,
just a discount bit of strippers, pretty much.
You gotta love that.
I did. I was like, it get discount strippers, and it's like, it's a lot of the clubs in the U.S. if they serve alcohol, they don't. There's no contact. It was like in Canada. I'm like, hey, I get what I pay for when I go to this motherfucker. I'm just saying.
You gotta love those exchange rates, Holmes.
It was like
we
hey,
exchanged more than just $1.
Yeah, it was like, here, take this money with ducks on it and fucking blow me. All right, I mean,
there's no ducks on our dollar.
what are they, loons or whatever? I don't know.
Loonies.
It's the
Loonies.
Queen of France.
Loonies for your toonies.
Queen of France. We're in English. What?
What about
Where
that?
does your geography come
What about
from?
French Canada? America, you idiot.
You look up the back of a
America.
cereal box with a maze of the world, and you're thinking that's the actual geography. Canada.
I like to make
You
jokes
call your
about
money
Canada.
Clooney's?
Is Captain Crunch lying to me?
Isn't that the
Crunch
Batman
doesn't
with the
mind
nipples,
cuts your
Clooney?
mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna sue. That son of a bitch has been spreading lies. He said my cereal cuts the roof of your mouth.
Hold on, let
It
me
is
call
not.
Uncle Ben from the theater. Maybe he can help me out.
Uncle Ben, where the hell that cracker Uncle Ben? Oh, he got shot in the parking lot.
It
was on
the box too.
It was on that day that Uncle Ben would be shot for the 6,975,342nd time.
With great
He died.
power comes great rights responsibility.
If only they had shot Spider-Man instead.
Dude, that'd be an alternate reality. What if
Uncle
Peter
Ben had
Parker
to
dies
take
and
over the
Uncle Ben
responsibility?
becomes Spider-Man?
Wait.
They call it the Uncle verse.
Oh my God! Hold on. I saw
Yes!
you guys remember the old how they did like those weird kind of dolls? They were like amigos, right? They did it for characters for Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Hold on.
I can't wait to hear what he's.
Oh no! I want you to share my screen once I find it because I literally found what was it? The Aunt May one, right? But it looks like Gary Busey. And you tell me that's a real doll, okay? But you can't tell me that doesn't look like
Is this
Gary
from
Busey.
Amazing Spider-Man? Wait, no way! No
That is-
way!
Does that look anything like the box art?
There's no way
That's
that's supposed to be. Oh
That's
my
real.
God.
That's-
That's a
look at the
man's
hand.
face.
Look
Oh
at
my
the
God.
hand. Look at
I don't
the
want
hand.
anyone to take offense from this, but that is a man face.
Remember Seinfeld?
Oh, that's
Oh,
terrible.
Man hands? Look at that.
Yeah, that is man
Come here,
hands.
Peter. Let me wipe the tears away.
Keep claws away from my
Dude,
face.
that-
She's cracking lobsters and
See the
shit.
Gary Busey.
Okay.
Yo,
I'm
hey,
calling.
how did you get
I'm
so
calling
jacked?
BS on this one. I'm
She
waving
did
the
have to-
BS flag.
It's not BS.
That is doctored. That is
No,
freaking
it's not
doctored
doctor.
to
It
hell.
is not doctor. You can go look it up right now.
That is
She did have to
amazing.
take over for Uncle Ben too, so she kind of
You like rice?
You like rice?
With great power.
Look,
comes
even
big
Aunt
old
May,
hands.
look at that man in the box. She didn't even look going up. That's not me.
She's
Look it up.
the man in the box.
Man, I'm the man hands in the box.
You like buffalo sandwiches?
Hey,
I'm
you-
all day. I'm
Peter.
Aunt May.
Don't leave the house.
Look at her socks and her thighs, dude. Like it's like she's
I
wearing
can't
Crocs.
operate the remote when you're not here because
She's
my
got-
giant
I'm just gonna
fingers are
pick
too
my
big.
nose here.
Look at she's got
Look at
fucking she's got cankles, man.
Those
And
are
she's wearing
cankles.
is she wearing Crocs?
She is wearing Crocs. Those are Crocs.
Looks like she's wearing a lead apron.
Those are
Also-
rocks. Aunt May rocks.
It's May. Aunt May.
It's Busey. Gary Busey. You like my
Gary Busey
apron?
from Predator 2.
I love my apron.
Oh,
It's
God.
so funny. I love it. I love my apron. Get rid of that now. It's creeping the fuck out of me.
Now that I know what Mr. Joshua looks like in Grandma's clothes. Thanks.
That's when you wonder, where's Grandma? You see Grandpa just walking out wearing a dress. You're like, oh shit.
Are you sure that was not a doll from the movie Psycho? Because that looked like Anthony Perkins dressed like Mama getting ready to stab Janet Leigh.
Okay, Django, you need to calm down and put your civilian penis away. I like how Shellback is gone quiet because he's actually looking fiercely on the internet to see if I'm bullshitting.
He is. Here, fine. There, I'll use this one. There,
Oh God!
I'll use that avatar.
He's shaking. I was right, wasn't I?
No.
I was right.
Uh-oh.
No,
Uh-oh.
no, I don't really care that much.
Oh, I was hoping
The
I
Uncle
could have some
verse.
fun.
It's ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Uncle verse. It exists.
What is
It is
that?
real.
Are you Vulture?
Say uncle.
Me? No, that's me in my high priest outfit. Here, see, look.
Oh.
Gaze upon my glorious physique.
Your nipples look lopsided.
Yeah, you look like you're about ready to do the freaking Wild Bill dance.
That's what I used.
They don't fear the lash.
I was like, I'd fuck me.
Yeah.
Can you start
fear
putting
my
goodbye
penis.
horses on repeat, please?
J
Thank you.
Money J says Cutie's director's in hot water right now with backlash for defending. Yeah, holy shit, like that and now they're insulating that whole thing because basically she's a black Muslim woman, so they're insulating the criticism. Now she's saying it's feminist, so you've got all these built-in defenses: the racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe, transphobe, Islamophobe, all that shit. In the name of a movie that looks like it's fucking made on the fucking Epstein Island by Jeffrey, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Kevin fucking Spacey, with production notes from from Tom Hanks. I mean,
aren't they calling for an investigation through the FBI or the DOJ because of the way this movie could actually be considered distribution of a certain thing? I will not say.
Yeah,
because I have standards, sort of.
Yeah, they did. There's a representative from Texas that was calling for that, and I don't know if the motion went forward. I mean, it really should, because if you read the description that Netflix posted at the beginning of this movie, it describes in gross and is a parent of a young.
Skimmed through it because I wanted to see what people were talking about. Like, I literally skimmed through, like, I just fast forwarded it before I canceled my subscription, and literally the parts that people are saying are worse, you literally get drawn to stop on them because you're like, this does not seem right. And then you keep watching, and there's hardly any storyline because most of the time it's over gratification of the exploitation. And I'm going to tell you this right now. To the people that have watched this, to do a review or to get a gist, I feel sorry for them. And for the people who haven't watched,
I haven't watched it.
You're better off don't, because
I
it will make you want to call your nieces or nephews and talk to your kids and be like, "Don't ever go down this road," because it's the parents too that are at fault for this.
Yeah,
because 650 plus kids audition, that means that's two sets of parents. I'm guessing estimate, and you guys said, "Oh, you just let this do this." I don't think the producers and the film crew can lie on your contract for auditions, can they?
Mm-mm.
So I got one excuse. Some guy tried to say, well, maybe they just lied to the parents. So, like, no parent is that stupid.
No. What up, Vase?
Because originally the first time I was on your show, we were talking about this because it was when the screenshot had just come out from Netflix. I defended the movie. I said, hey, it won the Sundance Award. Maybe this person, because the director, like you were just saying, hey, this director said that she made this movie to highlight these things and also like bring awareness to it and like take it away. So I was like, maybe this is really doing us a service.
And I did too.
Here's the thing. And I feel like I know what you're going to say is like, yeah, that was the instinct when you just saw the shot. And it's like, maybe they used a bad shot from it and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I've seen clips from the movie. It's horrible. It's fucking porn. Yep. And you can bring awareness to the situation without doing it. Honestly, the director should be happy with the result of what's happening because
everyone hates her film.
Yeah, everyone hates this shit. So like, hey, that's what she claims to be against. So way to go, you did it.
I'm sorry. No. I'm wrong. Everyone with a soul hates this film.
Yeah, everyone like there are other people, and like I've seen people trying to defend it as like,
can't.
What about dance moms? And I'm like, hey, at the same time, a lot of people have been like, hey, shut that shit down. But also, they don't teach those kids to do sex moves for the camera and then zoom in on the fucking shit. Yeah. Now, if you're a freaking sicko and you want to watch that and that would get you up, then maybe you can fucking do that there. But this movie is just like, this is. Here it is. This is us focusing on it. You say you don't want to promote this and you say you're against it. Why the fuck did you make this movie?
Yeah.
This is literally a
The way that you
for
made
those
it. The
types
way
of
that
creeps.
you made it. You could have just said, "Hey, look at these competitions. They exist."
Well, it is.
We were like, "Hey, let's zoom in
It's
on."
trying to normalize something that shouldn't be normalized.
Yes.
And like, let's say in general, there are people out there that are trying to get into certain communities saying that this is not a sickness. It should be a normal thing. I'm like, it's not.
No.
This is not going to go well for those types of people, and it won't affect anyone but make people look bad. Because what was it? One of the producers for the Sundance Film Festival is now under
It's
sexual assault.
The co-founder of the Sundance Film Festival was arrested for abusing a 7-year-old she was between 7 and 9 years old when it was going on.
Yeah.
This is the Sundance Film Festival that gave this movie Best Picture.
Yeah.
And there's a huge difference between
It should have been a documentary.
I made exactly.
They
That's what I
should.
thought it was. When I
It would
first
have
heard
been-
about it, I thought it was a
It's like,
documentary.
you don't see making a murderer going around
It's
killing
not.
real people, going murder bad, stab
Yeah.
stab. Murder,
Yeah.
bad,
Did you
stab,
see
stab.
what we did there? Brr. No,
They,
it's
they
like
could have
and
made
look-
the same message with an older cast,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it-
Yep.
or
And
done
with
an actual
Dan's Moms,
documentary or
or
whatever.
that, yeah.
But going back
But-
to Dance Moms, it wasn't really the same thing. Yeah,
Oh,
it
it's
was
not.
making
That's
kids
why
look
I-
like princesses, but it was still more or less focusing on drama mothers living vicariously through their kids with hardly any of the kids, and more like them about to throw down after the sixth mimosa. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah,
Well,
and they're
that-
not, and they're not trying to get their kids to do like sex
No.
moves. Like they
No,
might put them
no.
in weird outfits, and like let's all
Or
be
blowing
honest,
up a
the
condom and all
child
that stuff.
pageantry thing in
Yeah.
the United States, just like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia said in their like great episode, it attracts diddlers. It's a thing for diddlers. Da 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 da. So like this thing, like it's weird that you put kids in bathing suits to try and do this stuff, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I get that you're preparing them. Like if you're a dance and that's what you want to do for the rest of your life, and you're a dance person, that you want to learn dance and you have to try and imitate some of this stuff.
But it doesn't mean
But
selling your soul.
Sex, yes, sex and all that stuff. Like that's literally what this is about. Twerking is just mimicking sex,
Yeah.
and so they're like trying to
Yep.
zoom in on children
Yeah, okay.
mimicking sex.
And if any parent is a good,
You don't
parent,
have to-
I'm not
Yeah.
the one to say I have my own history with stuff. I'm saying with kids. Never mind. That sounded very wrongly. I'm not a parent. Mine were lost at a young age due to my ex's whatever. So I won't get into that. But I still understand the feelings. If your kids are being subjected to this stuff, what any parent would do is sit down to them and talk to them like an adult. Because it doesn't matter really the age. Kids are smart enough to understand when you're talking to them like a person.
Yeah.
And this is only going to open up more conversation of what to look out for. And it should never be normalized. And whatever happens to the director and everyone else who's standing up for this, they're going to get slacked for it. It's going to ruin them. You're a creep. And like that one video with that one dude who looked like he came out of a Betty Boop cartoon because he has no skin tone. You know that what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He was the personified of creepy to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all you're doing is giving him more promotion. And even if he's doing it just for a take to make himself get views and make money, you look like a monster.
Yeah. Anybody, I actually just got back from being, all three of my Facebook accounts were suspended at the same time. Two of them are a 30-day, and the last one was for like 3 days because I got into it with somebody in a comment thread about this goddamn movie. And the guy was like, of course, I always, if I'm going back and forth with somebody, I will click on their profile because I want to see what I'm working with. I want to see what
I
I'm
do that too.
And this dude,
Facebook is even banning that now.
yeah. This dude was wearing like tight ass, like gold fucking skin tight pants, holding a little fluffy dog, and it says like Los Angeles, and he works in the film industry. I'm like, I don't mean to stereotype, but you're the kind of motherfucker that would defend this shit, wouldn't you? I'm just like,
Yes.
and
It's
he
not
was
even
like,
that. There's Facebook groups. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like when you brought up Facebook, it brought up a point. There are actual groups out there that are actually making petitions on Facebook against this movie, and Facebook is shutting these groups down and calling it hate speech.
Yep.
And that won't do
That's what I
jack
got it for.
shit
No.
for Netflix's stock
9 billion loss already.
or
they've
everyone
lost $9
leaving
billion
at a
in value.
rate. The best article I saw about like this was like trying to be objective, and it was like, well, these are numbers called churn ratings, and like churn is something that's subscription based things they go through. They go through a churn it, like they have people that regularly leave, and they have people that, and I'm just like, and at what point did 8 times the normal loss rate of churn tell you that
But it's not just that. This movie has also sacrificed all of Netflix's, let's say, The Witcher season 2. It's going to have a lower viewership, and people might sign up to get the show somewhere else. This has destroyed not only the quality of the app itself, but all the programming that people have to put mind into. Like, say, the new season of Lucifer. No one's going to be able to see half of that because they've already canceled their stuff. Everything is in jeopardy because of one stupid choice, and that's all it takes.
Streaming services are the big. That was the big go-to. Netflix had the big jump on everyone else because they were the first streaming service into the game. But
they used
here
to,
they
used to
just
get DVDs shipped from them.
Their face off.
You know, I
So
did.
I.
Same thing. I used
Until
to
they split their plans.
Yep.
And then I just said screw it and got rid of the DVD.
Yep.
Now they're
I
done.
didn't know they did Betamax, Adrius.
That's one of the things.
Angelus, I can't read right
DVDs.
That's one of the things that I thought of too, was like, because I mean, this show right here,
good, so good.
I mean, they headed over there, right? And they're like, Netflix, season 3 Cobra Kai, and
now
I was like, I've never had Netflix, but I was gonna get it because of this show, and well, that and the fact that, I've seen, a few episodes of Stranger Things, and I like that. I got to see like the very first episode of The Witcher, right? And I was like, yeah, dude, I can freaking binge the hell out of that, and all this stuff. But so I mean, I can't dump them because I didn't have them to begin with. But
I still have my Netflix.
It's like you said, it's like, what is going to happen to, one of my favorite shows of all time.
They're going to pull out.
Cobra Kai. If Netflix keeps on being stubborn, and chooses this hill to die on,
Yeah.
And like,
I'd
and
rather
as
have a lesbian She-Ra
Right.
than deal with cuties, honestly.
Well, and it's like the fact that you can put that bar there and there. It's like, just do these people have no fucking idea of what
like this?
Yeah, and I get that as part of it. Look, I interned at the International Film Festival in Cannes, but one of the positive things I took away from that is some of the people that I actually talked to, these directors and makers, and don't get me wrong, there's an entire section of that film literally just dedicated to like.
Did it make you dress up like Peter Pan? Did they?
No. Look, they just there was literally a section dedicated to like gay and lesbian films, so it's like these get special treatment. It's like. Well, look, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Most people were mostly talking to me because I was wearing a Star Wars t-shirt, and we talked about Star Wars. And when we started talking about that, we talked about the old stuff, the new stuff, the cartoons, some of the new stuff. One of the producers I talked about worked on with one of the people that helped made the Clone Wars, and he was like, I hate the new shit. It's terrible. Like the stuff that they're doing right now is terrible. But he's not going to say that on like social media or whatever because he has a job to try and protect. So you're not going to see people with stuff to invest try and protect these things. And also you're going to see people with stuff that they already have trying to promote things that maybe shouldn't be fucking promoted. And it was one thing when I just thought this was a mishandling of marketing, as far as cuties goes. I was like, look, from what I've heard about this movie, it won Sundance. It's got to have some value. It's and the director has said she is against all of these things. She's trying to bring focus to it. And I was like, well, guess what? You just made a porn video.
Yeah.
He taught 11-year-olds how to murder people who can't swim.
It's insane. It's insane. When I saw some of the clips of the film, I was like, I don't care about the other parts that like justify it or like make whatever. The fact that you're trying to screen this to just anyone who has Netflix or whatever, you're fucking insane.
Yeah. And how many times do they change the warning for that? How many times do they change the warning? They pulled a full Harley Quinn with changing the title. They changed the warning, and it still doesn't matter because it's still on there.
It's still the same thing. Yeah, it's still on there. And that's the thing that kills me is now they're trying to hide this movie. They're trying to say it's an alt-right campaign against
it. We're going to politics. Sorry.
That sounds just like Star Wars The Last fucking Jedi.
Yeah, and this is the only time I'll really talk about this stuff is when, it gets injected into entertainment, because it's like it has no basis in reality. It's like it's everybody. I mean, you're talking like
look like a Republican.
Exactly.
No, you look like a Hawaiian.
You have,
but I'm still like, fuck this.
The people who hate cuties are like Democrats, Republicans, people who like pineapple on pizza, mongoloid, troglodyte, fucking libertarians, fucking, people who like Power of the Force action figures, people who still use 8mm fucking projectors. Everybody fucking hates this movie. It's like this is something that everybody can unite over.
Everyone, you eating pizza again?
I wish I had some pineapple on this pizza.
Can you turn your camera back off? That's blasphemy. I don't want to hear about your pineapple on your
I know,
pizza.
I can't. My crew can't go for that. No, can do.
Barbecue sauce, salami, pepperoni.
Yup,
he is literally a Ninja Turtle because he's always eating damn pizza.
He's gonna wake up one day and he's gonna be like practicing karate on camera while doing a live stream.
Okay. Well, see, I'm single, okay, and I live alone, so
I'll send you a cardboard cutout of me.
Part of it is pizza is like, kind of like the all around easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Really? Yep. Yeah, it's good. Same with me with chicken burgers, bro. I love chicken burgers.
I mean,
Did you say chicken burger?
He said chicken burger. Is that a Canadian thing?
Yeah, because they only make chicken burgers in Canada.
Hey, I don't need chicken burgers,
bud. World, right? There's a giant wall that says.
I think there is a giant wall that says no chicken burgers in this country. We eat goddamn cows because we're Americans.
Hey, just because Americans has a cheeseburger shop every other Starbucks stop doesn't mean we have to.
Dude, you know what? It's funny too because like my town is literally so small. There's no fucking. There's like the closest Starbucks I think is like. It's about 25, 26 miles away, and I'm like, I don't go to Starbucks anyway, but it's
so
like
we gotta get Base a better chair, man. He's gonna fall over.
I live in the state of
my town literally has a mom and pop pizza shop on like every corner. We have at least 9 pizza places in
that's
like
the thing.
5 blocks.
There's 8,000 people, 8 or 9,000 people in the town I live in, but there's like 20 bars, and there's like a bunch of there's a bunch of bars, and it's like always like there was like 30 because I live around a lake. At one point there was like 35 bars around this lake. Now there's like maybe like 15. Oh yeah, dude, it's like yeah, there's not much to do here other than like drink.
Are you famous in your town?
Am I?
Yeah.
When I was wrestling, I had a little bit of I would get recognized. It was kind of funny, and I didn't even live here. I moved away because I lived back in my hometown. Family had to take care of family issues and shit. But no, it was mud. It was mud.
Okay.
And speaking of that, I have to take this quick second here to give a plug for my Monday night show next Monday. Speaking of wrestling. And, she might wrestle in mud sometimes. But anyway, this young lady, Miss Jennifer Thomas, will be the guest on the panel with myself, Nick Utam from World Class Bullshitters, and my confidant, Jared the Barbarian from the wrestling show. This is right here.
What a ride. Holding her in the air, and the big suplex. Beautiful advance there. Switches over. Oh, nice. A wrestler standing 5'1" inches tall.
Jenny, my buddy Valentine, will be joining us. She's former WWE developmental talent Karma. She runs the website sessiongirls.com. She just ran a big event out in LA last weekend called Woman on Fire. I had some bomb ass wrestling matches out there, and she's an all around badass wrestler, entrepreneur. She'll be joining us Monday night for Going in Raw. She actually just messaged me. It was funny. She messaged me this morning. Now she's 3 hours behind me because she's LA and I'm East Coast. And she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry I missed the show Monday night. My dog died. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm sorry about your dog. That's terrible. I'm like, you didn't miss the show. I'm like, it's next Monday. She's like, oh, okay, just disregard that. Then
I'm like, what? You just told me it's okay. You can't disregard.
I was like, it's
take condolences.
It's okay, you know. I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah. I was like,
it actually says a lot of better character.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Like I said, she's very she's awesome.
Like, oh,
you should have totally played it up though for like a minute.
She's single. Shellback can share pizza.
What?
Stuffed crust.
He's still hypnotized by the video.
Let me put it to you this way: if things go right, you'll be seeing a video of her just beating the shit out of me one day on the channel. So,
I'm pay or is that free? Because I'll start throwing $1 bills right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. Well, we'll take money. I mean, we'll always take. We're gonna set up a Patreon just for that.
I want to be a producer on this video. I want the kickbacks.
Yeah, that's I said. I told her because I was like, yeah, I got, I was in the wrestling business and shit, and we were kind of talking about that. So that's gonna be a big, like I said, she's legit. She does like catching some Brazilian jiu-jitsu too. So I'm excited to have her on the show. It's gonna be fun, man.
That's too bad you guys don't have an Xbox or PlayStation. You can do wrestling on your stream live against each other.
You can do that without box or
my newest game console is a PlayStation 2, I think. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I've got the PlayStation 2. I've got 2 working N64s, a Sega Genesis, and a regular NES. So
you want to play Smash?
What? 64? No Atari?
I you know what? There's a house we were looking at buying at an auction, and it's right next door to my in-laws' vacation house. And I walked over, and there's a fucking original Atari in the box on the fucking table. Shit. Because one of the ends of the box, and you can see the shit inside the box. There's nothing in there except the Atari. I'm like, they're lucky I'm an honest person because I cracked this goddamn door open right now. Take this motherfucker. I'm like, oh my god.
I'm keeping my turbo graphics away from you then, bro.
I know, and my kid started to play Fortnite with his he's 5 with his cousins who are like 7 and 10. So I'm like, god damn it. So now I gotta fucking buy a new console, and he's getting into Minecraft and shit. So I'm like,
he has a phone, right? Or you just have him play on the phone.
No.
Get him like a cheap computer that can run
phone.
Fortnite.
He's got a tablet.
Okay, there you go.
Build him a PC.
Just get him a controller for the tablet.
It's for other things.
Yeah.
I got my 9-year-old, schooling me on like freaking Fortnite and
one of the guys we run with, he plays he's from Hong Kong, I believe, and he plays on a tablet, but he has like this controller or on a phone, and he has this like controller setup that he uses for his phone. So
any Bluetooth controller can sync with your phone or tablet. Just got to reset it.
Okay.
Pretty much you're paying for the clip. So
I got him playing. He plays GoldenEye. We'll get on N64 and play GoldenEye and shit. And he felt so bad. I beat the game. Now I bought my N64 in like 96, 95, something like that. And I had the whole game. GoldenEye's beat. It's been saved for 20. He fucking deleted it.
Of course.
What the fuck? Oh, he deleted
the whole thing.
That's insane.
Really?
I literally had to password protect everything when I was with
So
my
you
ex.
still have an N64?
I got 2 of them. Yeah.
Do you have Perfect Dark?
I think I actually do because I know I have a cheat manual for the N64 or like a strategy guide.
First of all, keep the cheat manual for sure, but also get Perfect Dark. It's the spiritual successor.
Okay.
Of GoldenEye on N64.
I think I have that one. I have to look because I have a whole fucking box of games. But we normally only play like WWF No Mercy and then and GoldenEye. But like
Absolutely.
we were playing Circuit Pro Bowling the other day, which I love to get like when at night, like after everybody's in bed, after I come off a stream, like I'm all stoned out, I go out there and I sit there and play like that Circuit Pro Bowling game for like hours.
I love the N64, and that's why I was asking, since you love GoldenEye, because they came out with another
they had another
007 game.
Yeah,
it wasn't as good. And here's the thing, like Rare made the original GoldenEye game.
Daniel Craig
they also made
the
Perfect Dark. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's literally the exact same system, almost the exact same graphics. All the shooting is the same. It's just different storyline outside of with aliens and shit and different weapons and tons of crazy stuff. Dude, that game, I didn't necessarily like first-person shooters until I played that game. I liked it in GoldenEye, and I liked some of the fun they had with weapons. Dude, play some Perfect Dark N64.
Why are they saying the stream is bad?
That's my boy. That's Salvador. Hail.
Stream is bad. You should feel that's
Hail
a
to the
Zoidberg
Salvador.
show.
It's a Zoidberg reference from Futurama.
Zoidberg reference. Click, 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 motherfucker.
There's a show I got to rewatch. Thanks for the reminder.
Oh, see, that's another one, man. I got my kid into the classics. We're watching that right now.
C-Lab.
He loves Futurama. Oh, C-Lab 2021.
That is like the best show from Adult Swim. Captain Murphy and Monster Hesh. Those two are the best.
Adult Swim used to do some great like parody stuff.
I used to
up with an app, bro. There's actually. Have you ever heard of an app called Mobdro?
Of what?
What's Mobdro? Mobdro is like one of those streaming apps, right? But they actually have like full dedicated channels with no commercials of nothing but Adult Swim cartoons. So you can put it on for 24 hours and it will go through Tom and Eric. It will go through C-Lab, Venture Brothers, and it randomizes every day.
I love Venture Brothers.
So good. I'm so sad they're canceled. I am so sad.
There's a thing right now for them to save it, like on Twitter.
But who has to pick them up? But who's going to pick them up?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Everyone's sharing
Netflix? I don't think so.
Netflix should get rid of Big Mouth and pick up
HBO Max.
Yeah, it's
HBO Max. Yeah,
HBO Max. Because you have to think about it. Some of the content for you guys in the States doesn't hit Canada the same way. So I can't even register for DC Online stuff like the DC streaming services.
Really?
Yeah.
You
can make an account, but as soon as you put your credit card in, it doesn't accept like out of US credit cards.
Holy shit!
Because the HBO Max has home videos and
they have that too on this streamer I was talking about.
What if you use like a VPN? Would it work then?
That's what I was going to say.
But if it's still a Canadian credit card, it won't matter because I can't make the account.
Yeah.
That's why Disney Plus sucks up here, right? Because we don't get Hulu. We don't get Hulu.
They're refusing.
Because of the copyrights. We only get the Disney stuff. We don't get the ESPN. So we're paying full price, but we're not even getting the full service.
Jesus Christ.
That's why I watched The Mandalorian and I canceled after a week.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
No, me neither.
No,
I'm in the Verizon subscriber category, so I got the year free.
Same here. That's what I did because I have Verizon Unlimited, so I got a year free. And honestly, I will probably resubscribe just because I'm gonna watch season 2, and they've got all the old.
They're banking on it.
I know because I'm watching all the old fucking Spider-Man cartoons and the fucking X-Men from the 90s. Dude, my kid is like infatuated with like the 1980 Spider-Man show. It's like because Spider-Man is like always fighting like Dr. Doom and shit. I'm like, this is Spider-Man. This is what he's actually supposed to be.
So he hasn't reached the Fox Kids one yet, has he?
What's that?
He hasn't reached the Fox Kids one yet with the Pantera guitar riff. Wait, that's X-Men. My bad.
No, that was X-Men.
With Spider-Man, is there that episode where is this the same series where because I remember this from as a child when I watched Spider-Man and I was like, what? It freaked me out when he becomes the spider. Remember that episode? Like when
the man spider?
The man spider, yeah.
That might be the fine, and I'm fine with it, but like whatever.
Punisher's hunting him.
Yep. And doesn't Craven come in too to
Craven is actually played with by his girlfriend who he came to take back to actually make Spider human again. That's how much of a dork I am with that show.
Yeah. That was so
because
good.
It ended on such a shitty note. It ended on Mary Jane, the search for Mary Jane, but no ever finding her, and Madam Web and Peter Parker going off into whatever fucking black hole they went into.
Yeah.
And you know what I loved about that show when I was watching the new ones with Tobey, like when I watched them, because I remember from a child watching that show, and then I watched like the Tobey Maguire were the first like big movie for them. Yeah, me too. He always
who the fuck said that?
He always looks like he's about to cry.
Hey, calm down. You want to know what?
You out of your goddamn mind. Son of a...
But he is an excellent Spider-Man and an excellent Peter Parker because
every time he smiles, every time he smiles, you want to punch him in the face.
Well, sure.
He was Peter Parker, but not Spider-Man.
He's a great Spider-Man too because when he puts on the mask, that's when he gets his confidence, and that's the great
thing. Is he a good dancer?
Absolutely. Those movies is when he's considering, am I just Peter Parker or am I Spider-Man?
Hot topic, Peter Parker. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Bonesaw is ready.
If it wouldn't have been for Avi, I guarantee you this. If it wouldn't have been for Avi Arad, Spider-Man 3 would have been so much better because you wouldn't have had 3 fucking villains shoehorned into that bit.
I have
like
a million problems with that last movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Wasn't it just supposed to be Sandman?
Yeah, and then they had to get
should've
Venom in. They had to get fucking
because of toys. They wanted to make toys.
I gotta say, yeah, it was because of toys. Because the actual arc of like Spider-Man versus Venom, this side of him versus that side of him versus Eddie Brock, which is like a shadow of his.
You mean that 70s Brock?
And that's the other thing that really fucked me up about
Topher Grace.
Was done well. Why the fuck did they choose
every
Topher
time
Grace?
you see him, it's like,
especially at a time when the only thing anyone knew him from was that 70s show where he was a bitch nerd.
Even Todd McFarlane came out and said he was shit at it.
Every time I'm watching that movie where Topher Grace is Eddie Brock, I'm thinking to myself, when's Red Foreman gonna come in here and kick his ass?
I was always hoping for Silver Sable to come in and be like, "Hey, motherfucker, there you go."
They canceled the Silver Sable movie they were planning years ago. And big shout outs to Midnight's Edge, because they did it was 3-4 years ago, some amazing coverage of the stuff that was going on during the time they had a Silver and Black. They had a Sinister Six movie, which I am fucking dying for. It's like they've set the whole thing up right now, and they're talking about canceling Spider-Man 3 now, which is part of the rumor going, which really kills me. But yeah, see, that's the thing is I like Tom Holland, I really do, but his movies, I don't like either of his movies. I like his appearance in the Avengers and Civil War. I think that was handled well, but I don't like Little Iron Bitch. I don't.
How much you want to bet?
We don't
They're
want
gonna bring in Miles Morales.
No, they're not. I don't think they're going to bring in. If they cancel Spider-Man 3, they're going to
money.
They're going to do a Spider-Verse to
Spider-Verse. No, Spider-Verse 2 movie by Sony has already been called for, but I don't think there's going to be another homegrown.
It's supposed to be Homesick or some shit.
That's not going to happen.
We don't want that, because the last thing we want is another Brie Larson mentoring Spider-Man and pulling a full Raylo Palpatine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We don't want that. So Mysterio is his high point. If he leaps on Mysterio, he's good.
Yeah. And that was setting him up, that whole thing was setting him up for something that was uncertain in terms of how the MCU and Sony are handling things going forward. They didn't even know before that movie how they were going to handle him. That movie itself was kind of like a blessing, or at least letting him continue. And now that Endgame has happened, okay, and we have these different changes, and now that Disney officially owns the Marvel, the X-Men, they own the X-Men now, so they're about to be combining all time. If the Doctor Strange thing doesn't introduce the X-Men, I'll just be fucking blown away by their.
They should wait 5 or 10 years. And then,
yeah, right. They like money.
For Spider-Man,
I know, but for Spider-Man, they should wait 5 or 10 years, let Tom Holland get a little older, and then have him the whole time being on the run because people know his secret identity, and then have him come back. And during that time, he's done his own tech and not had to rely on any Stark tech.
Yes.
And then you learn to see that he's becoming what Parker should be.
Or he moves
Peter Parker
to
never
where
relied
the
on Iron
Fantastic
Man.
Four are located, and he does an internship with the Fantastic Four and opens up the Fantastic Four.
Well, they teased all that
He can
Fantastic
wear
Four stuff.
Bagman head. You know what I'm talking about, the bag helmet.
Yep.
Do that.
They're going to try and distance themselves. This is just the MCU now owning all this stuff, and Sony being like, "Hey, we recognize that you have the entire MCU other than Spider-Man, and
The one big one.
we're willing to work with you as long as we get money." But as far as the MCU is concerned, they're going to be introducing the mutants.
Yep.
They're going to be introducing the Fantastic Four.
Don't forget
And
the gay turtles.
This is all, probably going to be part of the reboot of their Marvel Cinematic Universe. Remember the Marvel Cinematic Universe from the past 10 years?
No.
We're transitioning to a new one.
Yep.
And there are potentially
Safe space
good
and
things.
Snowflake, I
I
can't
love
wait.
Tom
Safe
Holland's
space.
Spider-Man. Making him Iron Man's
Trailblazer eats Peter Parker.
Protege.
The fucking Trailblazers Dora without her insulin
They took
shot.
away his arc. They took away his arc and made it part of
Yep.
Iron Man's arc.
Yeah.
That's not a Spider-Man movie. That's why every time I see the new Spider movies, look, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he's great Spider-Man. I like him in the MCU. But
Bitch.
part of the requirement of incorporating him into that universe was taking away part of his actual Peter Parker Spider-Man identity
he's
and
the
making
most
him.
He's the most recognizable superhero in the fucking world. Like seriously, outside of literally, if you look at like Superman,
Fat Steven Seagal is the most recognized too. I beg to differ.
You look
I
at,
have
like,
to agree with Fat Steven.
I do,
Seagal.
especially because he's got his own gravitational pull with a chicken nugget floating around his head.
That's right.
But like seriously, you take Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. Those are your guys. Like
those are your guys.
Before 2008, nobody really fucking gave a shit about Iron Man other than like hardcore comic book fans. You know what I mean? And like Thor and Captain had their, they had their followings, but the Avengers were not an A-list team. Fantastic Four is an A-list team. The mutants, the fucking X-Men are A-list team. You had the Thunderbolts, and then all these other fucking ancillary teams, the Wildcats, and then it was like down the list is like the Avengers, and the same thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy. The fucking cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy made that movie what it is. Nobody really fucking talked about the Guardians of the Galaxy before the movies came out, and now with this big delay, you're talking fucking 7 years in between Guardians 2, which came out 2017, and 2024, when they're supposed to release Guardians 3, which is a fucking crime because this is the last iteration we're gonna get.
Screwed up with James Gunn and fired him for some bullshit.
You know what?
He's doing Suicide Squad, and he said, "Fuck you."
How many remakes of the Avengers in cartoon form was there? Do you remember how many there were? There were
my
so
God.
many.
When they were coming out with
could grasp onto it.
When they were coming out with the movies, the Marvel movies were popular, and I'll never deny this. Yes, they were. I loved them. I enjoyed watching them. I liked their storyline, but I think they lost part of what made them originally popular, because what did that was their focus on these characters that people enjoyed seeing. And in the DC universe, we see them like in the DC animated universe.
So good.
It's just gorgeous. It's fucking amazing. It makes me wonder like how the animate or like the people that are directing the DC expanded universe haven't been talking to the people that are doing it. And I feel like now they have come together. I feel like at this point they're like, hey, guess what? We realized that, people like this expanded universe that we're doing. People like our characters, but they like them done right. You don't want to just shove it in there because, hey, Marvel's doing an expanded universe. Let's actually do something based around a good story. And I think that's where Marvel trailed off, and like Endgame might be the end of their amazing run, because it looks like they're heading towards some other stuff. But it looks like DC, it seems to me, has like picked up on their mistakes, noticed their own animated success, because their animated universe is dope as shit. Like their movies and the way it ties together, and the way they ended their last one with the Flash running off, like boom, it's like, hey, you get what your fans want and what they want to see, now just translate that into the movies. And it seems like Marvel's moving possibly away from that, but DC's moving closer to it.
The last good Marvel cartoon I remember was the anime one of the X-Men. Remember that one? It was more dark. It was up in the tundra and stuff. That was the last good Marvel cartoon I remember watching.
What, the one from the 90s?
I think it was it was
like 2000s. The X-Men.
2000s. It was the very anime style. You know what I mean? No, it was not like child anime. It was like adult anime.
Wolverine and the X-Men.
But I think no.
The one.
Oh, it's one where
X-Men.
Because there was a one that came out that was Wolverine and the X-Men, but you're talking about the entire Avengers at this point.
It was on Crave when Crave was not Crave, but Crackle when it was still around. It was called Marvel X-Men.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the one
anime version. Yeah.
I'm talking about the one that was on that they have on Disney Plus right now.
Yeah, they did a Blade one as well. It was called Marvel X-Men, and it had them all done anime style. Here, hold on, let me get the picture out if I can.
All right.
They did I think 2 seasons of it. It was like X-Men anime version.
See, these days, like Captain America and like Iron Man are probably, like a couple of my favorite characters, from the movies. But like back in the day, and I'm talking like, 1980s, 1970s. I was all about the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like the exact, he was the exact opposite of me. I was this little tiny scrawny kid, and the Hulk was like the biggest, baddest, strongest thing out there. And
that was his character.
And I grew up with the TV show, the Bill Bixby Lou Ferrigno show, right?
I own that bitch on DVD.
Which of course, that Hulk, is nowhere near the size that he's supposed to be, but
there's only so much you can do with practical effects in that era.
Yeah. But
it's
I mean,
understandable.
But the other one, was Spider-Man, because he was small, he was scrawny. He didn't look strong, but, by God, if a car came flying at him, he could catch it,
and stop someone from getting killed. Yeah. And he'd also probably throw a quip at the kid that he was saving or the person that he was saving or whatever, because that's Spider-Man. Because when he's in that mask, he's in the persona of I'm Spider-Man, and he stops it and he saves them. Well, when he's Peter Parker, he's not. He shouldn't have the charisma he has when he's Spider-Man.
But
until he's come to a point where he accepts himself as both of them.
But I mean, I loved I loved Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's his name?
Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. Those were okay.
They were solid, but
and I actually like the the whole Iron Man Spider-Man thing, with the suit,
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it should be
a version of Spider-Man.
He should be like putting his own spin on Tony's shit. Okay.
Yes.
And then when I saw Far From Home, and he's in the back of the jet
designing,
just going freaking ape on that freaking suit, like you could just when the camera pointed over at Happy, and Happy cracked a smile, and I'm like, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm like, that is Peter Parker right there. Knee deep in the fucking shit, building his own damn suit,
And part of that was also because they literally turned on I don't remember. I think it was a Led Zeppelin song, and he goes, "Yeah, I love AC/DC," or whatever. But he that was also part of it. But also it was Happy Jon Favreau, aka the director of the original Iron Man, by the way,
Yeah.
It's been him looking at this new. And as far as the MCU goes, look, I will criticize MCU Spider-Man to a point, but as far as fitting into the MCU and the Marvel Cinematic Universe they're creating there, way to go, 100%. I get the Spider-Man purists, problems with it,
right.
And I feel the same way. When I go back and watch Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, I'm like, now this is Spider-Man. When I look at the new ones, I'm like, this is MCU. That's the difference. And look, I love both of them.
Part of my deal with Tobey's Spider-Man, and I think they actually did this at one point in the cartoons. And that's all I've got that's all my knowledge is cartoons and movies. Okay. Because I lived in BFE freaking Missouri. Okay. And we didn't have comic book stores and shit. Okay. So anyway, Tobey Maguire with his, with his little webbing ducts, that mutated in, from his wrists. I loved that because, I'm like, I would expect that would be one of the things that would happen if a mutant spider bit you, is you being able to make your own webbing, And
I remember when that movie came out, a lot of the Spider-Man, purists said this should have been something he had to create for himself. But when you look at the arc of the overall 3 original Spider-Man movies, in the second movie, he loses his ability to become Spider-Man because he stops. Like, it's literally that, and that wouldn't be possible unless. And so, I'm not saying it was the right direction to go. I liked the direction that it went. And of the original Spider-Man movies, one of the things I absolutely love more than anything else is the character of New York City. Like, you don't see that in Tom Holland Spider-Man films. I remember I just rewatched all the Spider-Man films, the original ones, the Amazing Spider-Man. I just rewatched all of them. And one of the things that I really noticed from the ones that aren't done by the MCU is that the city of New York is actually a character. And when they see Spider-Man, this guy that's a defender of their, hey, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, when they see him under attack, they're like, hey, screw you. And they help him. Yep. And they, in the Amazing, I mean, like
when Stacy was hot, just going to cut him there.
Absolutely.
And which one, the original or the Amazing Spider-Man?
The Garfield one. I'm sorry.
Oh, see, I liked Gwen
She's
Stacy.
The same actress from Jurassic World, by the way.
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard with her fucking
I don't believe that.
Opie's. That's Opie's daughter with that badonk. Yeah, Opie's daughter's got a fucking badonk, man.
Spider-Man, in my opinion.
She did, man.
It's
she was
not the blonde hair. It's the
thick, thick.
She has a certain thickness to her.
Yeah.
All right, guys, keep your Viagra down to a minimum.
And speaking of which, if you like them, I'm just gonna say, if you like dump truck asses, you might want to check my homepage, my most viewed video ever, Pixar moms with absolute dump truck asses. It's almost 8,000.
Weirdness to us.
Go ahead and check that out. Yeah, I made that shit.
Our childhood with their.
I made that shit like 2 months ago.
Oh, I feel you. I mean, I made a last year for the 4th of July. I made a video of nothing but lovely ladies in stars and stripes bikinis, set to the music of oh shit, what's his name? The John Philip Sousa. You know the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave
that, but with porgs and bikinis.
I gave each woman's got her own little song and all that. I was like, hey, each Pixar chick's got her own song. I mean, we got everything from like Salt Shaker by the Yin Yang Twins, Booty by fucking Benzino. I'm back to fucking Teddy Riley and was that Rump Shaker. I mean, I got it covered, man.
If you got back, it goes well with Pocahontas.
That's a
Pocahontas.
Exactly.
Wait, we
look that up on the.
To ruin your straight face, bro. It's working so well.
Look that one up on the hub.
No.
Do it.
No.
Execute order 69. Look up Pocahontas.
We all know you got an account, Steven.
Yeah, it's a premium membership of Nope.
Fat Steven Seagal on fucking Pornhub. I'm gonna see that in a comment thread on Pornhub. If you want to talk about the most polite and nice comment threads, look at the comment threads. Just go to Pornhub and look at a comment thread. 9 times out of 10, they are the most polite comment threads ever. It's like, goddamn, YouTube is worse than these. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah,
absolutely.
I didn't spill my latte once while
I used to exclusively go to Pornhub just to get my trailer or movie reviews, because no matter what, and this was several years ago, it's not exactly the same way now, but you could go to any of the most popular videos on Pornhub, and it's somewhere in the description would just be a random review of like Transformers.
I look for Scientology.
It'd just be like, they're just like, here it is.
Wow.
Here. I know that
want to hear about shampooing aliens while
you like
done from behind. You know, that's what I want to watch.
Wow.
What's wrong? Tom Cruise is locked in my closet.
Like, oh my God, Tom Cruise in my closet. Fucking, and then R. Kelly comes in to narrate the whole goddamn thing. But now Fucking R. Kelly's like,
I'm fighting for my life.
I'm gonna pee
hard to put that up.
fucking Tom Cruise jumping up and down on the goddamn couch.
He was a retard.
You got Chappelle. I'm gonna pee on you. You got that music
I'm
video.
gonna piss on you.
Chip, chip, chip.
Yep, pee on you. Yes, I will.
One of my favorite quotes from Dave Chappelle after having made that video was he was like, and it's actually in the show where he premieres it. He was like, so I made this video based on like R. Kelly, dude. And R. Kelly hit me up after I made it, and he was like, man, how you gonna make a video about people piss on people? And I was like, man,
Challenge.
you gonna make a video?
How you gonna make a video about pissing on people?
I wanna pee on you.
So fuck it. We did the Piss on You remix. Here it is.
Yeah, your body.
I love that. Oh God. That
I want
fucking,
to poop on you too.
you know, and
Can you move my avatar away from the poop master? I feel sorry for the spade. He's gonna get pooped on. So
I like the thing with the
Always
Muppets and the
do, brother.
STDs. That's my favorite.
oh yeah, Charlie Murphy. So I said, fuck it.
fuck your
It ain't a
couch,
joke,
Charlie Murphy.
and it's not funny, but I beat my dick like it owes me money. I said, fuck it. Yup, that goddamn Charlie Murphy's a goddamn national treasure.
Charlie.
Fuck your couch, Charlie Murphy. Fuck your
And the
couch.
crabs.
Twin brother darknesses.
Get over here. Get over here and give Charlie Murphy a lap dance.
Yeah. Sure.
Get your small titties away from me. I'm Charlie Murphy.
Bitches, show Charlie Murphy a
That
titties.
was 5 months ago, motherfucker.
I wish I had 2 more hands so I could give those titties 4 thumbs down.
Those are small titties.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap, motherfucker.
I think the best one is Wayne Brady trying to buy crack with the hooker.
Yep. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
He can't keep a straight face the whole
Yep.
time.
The end of that. Black Actors Day. Black Actors Day. Yeah, but Black Actors Wayne. Oh,
He's like, dude, makes me
Yeah,
about
Wayne Brady's harder than Chappelle.
yep. He's singing that song, snaps the cop's neck. Just fucking Wayne Brady's just gangster as fuck.
Dude, watching him and all the rest of them on that freaking I can't remember the name of it.
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah,
Yeah. Dude, that's where I saw, like, I used to watch
where they were doing it was all the it's
improv.
like super improv shit. Yeah.
I used to watch the fucking BBC version of Whose Line Is It, hosted by Clive Anderson.
Yeah, and Ryan Stiles was still old there.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Mockery still had no hair then.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? Like, has Colin Mockery? Is he like got like weird? He's like stuck in a Benjamin Button like nightmare.
I don't know, but the funniest thing is with the Hughes Lines and Anyways, you can actually watch the deterioration when Drew Carey came on, where he went from a fat guy to a saggy vagina.
It's true.
Well, they canceled the Price is Right.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, he's now an emaciated vagina. Yeah.
Dude, Drew, I'm sorry, but Drew Carey
rebooted Whose Line Is It Anyway with the chick who does the voice from the black chick on Archer.
She is black.
She's black. I know she's black, and she does.
She's a chick. She does the black chick's voice from Archer.
Sorry for being redundant. I forgot her name.
We found redundancies in your report, Bays. We're gonna have to ask you to fill out cover sheet. 14 FB.
It's a picture of a
Hey, Drew,
nutsack. What the fuck?
Hey,
Drew
get your
Carey
phrase thing together.
Hey, Steven, Drew Carey, whether he's fat like you or skinny, okay, Drew Carey to this day is still like probably my favorite celebrity, okay, because that motherfucker, like I was so it was my third, it happened to have been my third and final deployment while I was in the Navy, right? And we're all like, okay, so my first son, who is a senior in high school now, I had to leave on a 6-month deployment the day after he was born, which was the one I'm talking about. And so he was born on December 6th. So we leave December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, for Diego Garcia, which is out in the smack dab in the middle of the Indian Ocean, right?
Mhm.
Well, Drew Carey comes out there on a USO tour during Christmas.
Nice.
Christmas, when he could be at home with his own damn family. But no, he's on a freaking volcanic atoll with a bunch of sailors, okay, signing autographs and doing freaking comedy shows. So
I don't hate the guy. I own all
God
the Drew
bless
Carey
him.
show on DVD, bro. I own all of them. I watched it religiously. The Mimi pranks made my day.
Goddamn Mimi.
I was never into Drew Carey shows.
I used to watch it.
Great cameos during Community. If anyone watched that show,
Yep.
He was,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, he had. He was the boss lawyer of the original place that the lawyer character came from. He has
unfortunately,
that's one of them shows that I have to like binge or catch up on, whatever you want to say, is Community. Absolutely. And don't please do not throw stones, okay? But two more that I need to see that I haven't is Parks and Rec and The Office.
And that's Ben Shellback's. He's fucking out of here. He's out. That's
I'm not watching
personal attack or thing.
I'm not watching it.
Oh, fantastic stuff.
And I wasn't mocking Drew Carey in general as a comedian. I'm just saying he doesn't look funny thin. He just looks like a wrinkly vagina, like a nutsack.
I will reference
I'm sure he'll live longer,
the movie
Yeah.
Funny People, where Seth Rogen's character is criticized by Jonah Hill, and he says, "You shouldn't have gotten into shape, man. There's nothing funny about a physically fit man."
Yep.
That's a funny joke,
dude.
Which is
that's
funny
like
because they're both getting in shape.
Imagine Chris Farley, like if Chris Farley was like not like Chris
those
Farley
jokes
wasn't even
won't
like
work if you're thin.
He wasn't even that. He was kind of chubby, but he wasn't like morbidly obese. You know
that bit with him and Patrick Swayze doing the Chippendales,
dude. Yeah. Yep.
That has got to be one of the all-time classics.
You would have never got fat guy in a little coat. I mean,
right?
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh, Beverly Hills. That.
I was checking the specs on the end line for the rotary girder. I'm retarded.
Oh my God! He said the retarded word. We have to cancel that movie.
You got Chris Farley and you got Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat in Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh, dude, Beverly Hills Ninja is amazing. That movie, and they had my what's my girl? The blonde. She was on Desperate Housewives. Fuck.
Barbara Streisand.
That goddamn bitch ass Barbara Streisand.
Nicolette Sheridan.
Nicolette Sheridan. Holy fuck! Because she used to be on. I think it was like Dynasty or Knots Landing. In her early 20s, and I used to watch that shit. And then I was like, I had a thing for her. And then she was I see her in Beverly Hills Ninja, and then she was on Desperate Housewives. I was like, oh my God! And now she's like 70 something. I'm like, you're out. But
you're out too.
You're out now. But
Helen Mirren still looks good, even though she's really old.
I was like, up until I saw Cats, I was like, I'd nail Judi Dench, but
Hey, you know,
Cats is what stopped me. Yeah. Cats is the only thing. Cats is the only thing that stood in my way.
He's like, I don't want that man.
Was it the butthole cut or the
real life?
It was.
That was bad CGI. She's still the
I had to rewind it, but we stood there all high.
Greg Ferguson.
I was stoned as shit watching. I was rewinding. It's like, what the fuck did she say? Jelly roll cat, jelly what jellicle cat? What the fuck is she talking about?
So her trying to lick her ass didn't do it for you, huh?
No, man. I was like, when she threw her leg behind her head and started licking, I was like, nah, I'm out, fam. I'm done.
Oh God. Dude, does she really?
I would expect at this age that she would be better at it by now, and frankly, that is an amateur performance of ass licking.
What was worse?
That's what I can't accept about Judi Dench.
What was worse was seeing Ian McKellen, man, Magneto as a fucking cat, and he was like, it was bad. I was like, and then you had I never wanted to see Jason Derulo as a cat. I like what Ricky Gervais said. He goes, James Corden dressed like himself and said,
yeah.
Fat cat, get it? Because the term fat cat actually is about rich fucking people that take that they don't
We call.
deserve.
He said, "Oh, he goes, James Corden dresses like himself, a pussy or something like that." I was like,
"You're just fat."
But no, it was bad. And then, oh yeah, Rebel Wilson. Nobody wants to see Rebel Wilson dressed like a cat. And
it was more CGI than like anything. And the point of it is that they're cats. The reason that that whole thing works is that they're cats, not that they're like furries. Okay.
Yeah.
The idea is that they're supposed to be actual fucking cats. So if you were going to take the time to CGI that much bullshit, you should have just fucking made it with actual fucking CGI cats.
They should have done it like a Broadway show.
Yeah.
With practical effects.
All I'm gonna say is hashtag release the butthole cut. Okay.
You know what? But out of all the movies I saw last year, that one was still not as bad as the fucking cinematic abortion that was fucking Black Christmas 2019. That movie, Black Christmas 2019, was what y'all haven't have y'all not seen
I
that?
haven't even heard of that.
I haven't seen it. It's new horror, isn't it?
And it was bullshit.
Oh, it's not horror.
No horror. Oh, it isn't? I thought it was a horror movie.
Let me put it to you this way.
Ostensibly a comedy.
If Blumhouse had a cinematic universe, the crux of their cinematic universe is this evil black goo created by the cisgendered white male patriarchy, and this is the driving force in this movie. This movie was like getting hit in the soul with a bag of fucking kittens stuffed with nails and broken glass for like 90 minutes. Like
it was better than Chucky with Bluetooth.
But
I didn't see that either.
If it came from the white male patriarchy, wouldn't it have been white goo? I'm just saying.
Oh no, it was black goo just to make something black look bad, I think. But yeah, like the fucking Sophia Takal wrote and directed this movie, and literally it was like yeah, exactly. It was like exposition for exposition's sake, and it was Black Christmas in name only. Now, the 2006 Black Christmas gets a lot of hate, but that one at least tried to stay in the same vein as the original 1974 movie did, which was a fucking amazing movie. And this one was just like men bad, patriarchy bad, woman good. That was basically it. And I didn't even bother to learn the fucking characters' names. I was basically like the critical drinker. I'm like, you have strong, diverse female character. You have dumb fucking hot girl. You have main protagonist weak who has to overcome. I broke them down into 4 categories in my review. I was like, I'm not even gonna bother to know your names. I was like, fuck you, film. It'll be fine. Like that was basically my entire fucking review. It was like, this is like I watched this movie like I think 2 or 3 times to review it, and it took me everything I had not to take my head and smash it in a door like Kill Bill. I was like, holy fuck.
Then when this is over, you're gonna watch Mystery Men to get the bad taste out of your mouth.
Mystery Men. I haven't seen that in forever. Yeah, that's been a long time.
You get to watch Pee Wee Herman as the Sphinx, man. Come on.
That's almost as good as
No, not the Sphinx. What was his name? Who was the farting? Yeah, the spleen, the Captain Fart.
That's what my friends dubbed me, because my farts were the most potent.
Okay, can you move my avatar to the other side of
I gotta watch Orgasmo again. It's been a while since I've seen Orgasmo.
Yeah, Orgasmo was good because I remember one part when he shoots the grandma by accident. She starts having an orgasm in front of her walker.
And Ron Jeremy being the bad guy in that. Chota Boy, yep. Ron Jeremy being the bad guy in that was kind of fitting now, considering he just got arrested at like 75. Like they arrested an old Jewish man. I was just like, what are they taking me to jail for? I haven't touched anybody inappropriate. This thing hasn't worked in like 20 years. What are you doing to me over here, Murray? I was playing gefilte. I had a gefilte fish in the bathtub. I was getting ready for Yom Kippur. What are you doing to me over here?
I have one of those gefilte fish. Can I get
my farts
rush hour to do it. Also,
that when I used to unload trucks at Kmart back in the day, and I was at like front of the back of the truck, like by the cab. I farted there, and people in the warehouse could smell it. It was that bad.
Okay, never do live meetup.
This is why you don't eat.
Wear masks in general.
This is why you don't eat Taco Bell, kids. This is why you don't eat Taco Bell.
Why you go to the doctor?
There's a Taco Bell, like, yeah, you better have your colon checked out, man.
Going to warehouse.
You know what happened to Chadwick Boseman, right? I'm sure he had the same problem.
Walter special brew and then a shot back.
We
I'll have to get in touch with Walt or Steven.
There's a Taco Bell like literally a mile from my house, and like every time I got a big ass fire pit, bonfire. It's like me and my boys on driving up there. It's like all right, who's paying tonight? And I'm like, none of y'all are paying for my order. Like, why? I'm like, do you really want to pay for my order? One day my boys like, yeah, all right. So they ordered their shit, and I ordered my normal, like literally by myself. I'm not even joking. Is normally around $25 to $30 just for me. And yeah, because like I get high, I get drunk. I'm like, I eat a lot, man. Yeah. And it's like the Taco Bell is like I get like I order like once, and the guys in there are like, Jesus fuck, and it's like, I ain't paying for that. I'm like, well, I fucking told you we're gonna pay for my shit anyway, man.
Yeah. You agreed to this before we left. We never specified.
Yeah, you said
I can't judge you. When I go to a Chinese buffet, I just pull my chair up to the buffet.
Yep.
Make sure my chair has wheels,
dude.
so I can just stroll up and down.
I need sideboards for my plate. Like I can pile my plate up that high.
Yep, it's like when I haul firewood in my truck, man. It's like I got to put them fucking pegs on the side with the side rails because that shit is overflowing with goodness. I just know.
Oh yeah.
But before we get to it, well, shit, we're over the 209 mark. I'm gonna end this right here. I think we're gonna say sayonara for the night. We're gonna leave it on a high note on Draven's fucking stank ass fucking colon cleansing he did in the fucking Kmart truck. So
did you just say a high note?
We're gonna get a high.
Just a little high.
Just a little high.
What is happening?
What had happened was
Kelly, we do not want to get high.
But
I got on the truck.
I'd like to. Oh.
Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
You want to breathe? You want to eat this nacho fry?
Oh shit! I'd like to thank It's a Vase Productions, Fat Steven Seagal, Shellback, Tony Tone Deaf, and Angelus Draven for coming on tonight, man, for Wednesday, Raw Wednesday. Hail the Fandom Menace. Thank you all in the chat. Thank you guys. Let's see. We got Warlord Tight, Tiberius, Flair X, Salvador, J Money J, Flipped Out, and I can't really read straight at this point, but thank you all guys for coming out tonight, and we appreciate it, man. Have a great night, and if I don't see you, you have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow.